it for like epic boons.
Yeah. Every one level is 10,000 gold worth of magic item.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
It is, because I'm making this up right now, so it works how I say it does.
It's amazing. Your DM powers are so strong that they
Mhm.
apply to all the games
Yeah,
that you play,
it's true.
not just the ones you run.
It's true. I finally completely killed someone in my game the other day.
Like what? Killed?
Like killed, no chance of resurrection,
Damn,
no
son.
chance of coming back, dead forever.
Fucking
DD.
killer ass DMs over here.
Well, they stumbled upon some assassins sent by Lolth, which were shadow demons but buffed a little bit. And when the person died, it ate their soul, and then they banished it, which was not a terrible move, but they banished it back to the abyss. So Lolth was like, "All right," and then they just kept it.
Well, I mean,
couldn't bring it back.
I mean, theoretically, if they wanted to travel to the abyss and track down that particular demon, right?
Theoretically,
that could work.
And right now, the abyss is pretty empty because the demons came over here. It's mostly just Lolth hanging out, so they got that going for them, I guess.
I couldn't remember what I was like, I'm like, why did I open another tab? And I just stared at it and then closed it out. And I remembered I was trying to open up Twitch to mirror the stream because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I've been home for a few minutes, but I've been pulling everything because we did Tyranny on the laptop last week, and now we're doing ours on there. So I forgot to move everything, and
It's okay.
thought work wouldn't be stupidly like it was.
Work is always stupid.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where you work.
Work was so fucking slow today. It was awful. Nothing happened. And I just stood around for 5 hours. Doing nothing.
Hey, the alert works too. All right.
What alert?
The alert for auto hosting.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I don't have you on auto host. I always do it manually.
Well, Streamlabs says otherwise. But
Well,
that's
Streamlab is a lying piece of crap then.
It sure is.
Poor Streamlab.
Yeah, fucking Streamlab just over there minding its own fucking business.
It's like, you know, it needs to not tell you lies. Like, oh, you've been auto-hosted. And it's like, no, did you not just hear me typing like 3 times and complaining because I was typing the wrong command? There was no auto to that. That was bespoke.
Yeah. How did the program not hear that?
Okay, I don't know what's going on with this badger.
From the bag.
No, but he's got 30 out of 10 of something.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. Like somebody
I do movement on the blue bar, so I can look at it easy. So it's 30, and then 10. I think burrow or something.
I see. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Where did the badger come from?
From the bag of
tricks.
Oh yeah,
the gray bag of tricks, otherwise known as Dwayle's only friends.
Yes.
Wow,
I didn't realize we had a great bag of tricks. To be honest,
it was posted in the loot chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on a handout in the Discord.
Sealed or
what?
You know, that place that nobody ever reads.
Kyle?
Reading.
Here's hoping they forgot other stuff too.
Nope.
I remember the 1,000,000 gold you gave us.
All the gold.
Well, just reach into your pocket, Phil, and apparently there's just an unending...
Hey, that's not me. That's your problem. I didn't do that. This isn't my burden to bear.
But it's in your pocket, so it has to be your burden.
I mean, I guess theoretically, in the most technical sense of the word, it is physically my burden.
Just start filling it with random stuff instead. Werther's Originals, lots of them. Used tissues.
I don't. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna post this. I don't like the way this is. I'm looking at the nesting of the stuff in the menu over here, and I don't like the fact that under the tab where it says Player Pets, there's a giant badger, and then I'm right underneath it. I think that's racism.
That feels racist.
I wish I could see that. It's not. You're not on my list. So
Hold on. I'm gonna upload it to the Discord. Hold on.
This needs a screen cap.
Yeah, I took a picture with my phone. Hold on. I am calling heavy racism on this.
I do notice that Ted's a monster, even though he's dead. That makes me think that undeath has struck. Did they not?
I mean,
burn
yeah,
and
it's not in
bury
the
him way
exact
they're
same part
supposed
of the
to.
tree, but like I saw
I
that,
can see
it's like
Ted's
I don't
sheep.
like that.
You guys haven't seen the last of Ted yet.
Oh no!
Dun dun dun.
Ta-da.
Remember, Ted spelled backward is debt.
Yep.
Sure is.
Good job. You've learned so much, Dwayne.
You know, studying under Felon, you learn a few things, like to lick everything and spell things backwards, just to see if it shows up.
Look, you never know what secret puzzles you might unlock.
Hey, licking thing is, I don't know. I had a really weird dream last night. I woke up this morning. I don't know if anybody saw I posted about it on Twitter. In the dream, weird as it was, everything was kind of normal, but my right hand was oozing from no discernible like aperture or opening, like a milky mayonnaise-like substance. And I tasted it, and it tasted like mayonnaise, but it was very kind of like, it had like runniness, almost like a coleslaw dressing. And I was going around and asking people to taste it to make sure that it was mayonnaise. So
You were excreting mayonnaise?
from my hand, like it was just appearing and like running down my hand and wrist. It was very strange.
On that note, welcome to episode 15 of the Trade Curse. Yay.
Yay.
There will be no mayonnaise excretion happening tonight.
You just say that now.
Prophetic dreams everywhere. Okay. All right. So you guys last left off in a wizard's tower.
Yeah.
Staring, poking, prodding a decayed, you're not sure, different parts, different levels, corpse on the floor. And Felon, I believe it was you that had recently cast something.
I had cast Speak with Dead.
Right. And what kind of questions were you hoping to ask? And was anybody else weighing in?
I had a list of 5 I had made. Speak now, or those are the questions that will be asked.
All right, so you're
reasonable enough.
Briseis
start
is just gonna wander off and be not in the vicinity for this.
yeah. It sounds like it's kind of just Dwayne and Felon, and then Cloud. You're kind of torn in between. Briseis hiding around the corner, and
I'll go over near, like, so she's hiding around the corner. I'll cop a squat kind of right here in the connecting passage between the two, so I can kind of half pay attention to what they're doing and also kind of keep an ear on her. And I'm going to plop down while they're doing this and go into my meditation to get my key points back.
alrighty. So Dwayne and Felon, I imagine you guys are kind of going back and forth on the order in which you're asking the questions and things like that. And you're going to start with who are you?
Seems like a good place to start. Dwayne says you should always ask someone's name as you introduce yourself. So,
Well, I say that if you care about the person at all, this creature is dead. But I guess
well, I mean,
curiosity.
he's still a person, and we might learn something from his name.
He's not a person. He's an assembly of bones and some skin. But whatever.
So I cast the spell, and what happens?
All right, so you start off casting the spell. What does the spell look like anyway? I don't think I've ever used this. Is it just
here we go. I'll ping it for you.
there
So-
we go.
So basically, they start moving around again limitedly. Like they're not getting up and walking, but they can talk and like look at things.
Gotcha.
but-
Not animated, but jaw
Mhm.
movement. Okay,
Right.
cool. So you cast the spell, and it's your first time casting the spell, so you're kind of curious to see what it ends up looking like. And as there's just some kind of glow emanating around this head, as it kind of turns slowly. It was collapsed kind of on the last step its head turns slowly at a very uncomfortable looking angle. Clearly something happened to injure it in that area, because this is not how a normal head sits on shoulders.
Mhm.
And as it starts to answer your first question of, who are you?
Mhm.
You see the head drop towards you. Eyeless eye sockets just stare at you and say, I'm the Great Wizard. I'm the procurer of funds.
Okay,
The
well, this seems-
preserver of knowledge.
Okay. All right. I mean, I like this guy so far. He's pretty good.
He seems fun.
Yeah, and he seems pretty upbeat for having been dead for a while. So, I mean, good for him, I guess. Okay. So then, looking at Dwayne to make sure he doesn't have any insight to gather on what he just said.
No, that seemed fairly pointless.
I'm going to say, who was the man who betrayed you that led to your death?
He was the man who keeps wheels moving in Baldur's Gate.
The man who keeps wheels moving in Baldur's Gate. Interesting. I did not expect that answer. Okay. I look at Dwayne like, friend of yours? You know who that is?
I would think that would either qualify for it's the Iron Throne, or potentially our friend Tagar. Have to consider that one. But I think if Tagar had acquired an item of this power, he wouldn't be looking to us to help with the iron.
True.
Speaking of the item of power, I suppose the next question should be about it.
Okay. I asked, do you know anything about the supposedly very magical staff that is kept here?
As you ask your third question, the light that you had released when you cast the spell seems to like flicker a little bit, kind of like, you know, a candle and a strong breeze. But it glows brightly again, and you ask if he knows anything about the staff. And it flops its head and kind of stares at Dwayne, hearing that, you know, he had some input, and flips back to you. And whether the wielder or the beaten, you'll never fully recover from its touch.
So it seems like it injures those that wield it as well as those that it hits. Like some sort of vampiric thing, except it doesn't grant life to the person, it just hurts them too. Seems kind of awful, to be honest.
Well, that would depend upon what other effects it might have,
I suppose.
Don't know if I wish to waste questions inquiring after it, though.
Do we want to ask why the man who betrayed him? Do we want to figure out why he was killed? Especially if this person is someone who's important in Baldur's Gate, it might reveal something.
I think the why is fairly apparent. It was to acquire this item.
As you guys are discussing this, you see the light flicker again around the whole spell, and kind of, Felon, you feel like a weird zap on your finger, almost like when you ran over the rugs on the way here too fast.
Huh. Felon looks down at his fingers like, that's weird. I think we should hurry up.
The item of interest to us in the area would be the undead. I was hoping to hear that the staff was somewhat related to them. Perhaps inquiring on whether he has knowledge how to do away with the problem of the rising undead.
Okay, I'll ask him, do you know why there might be undead rising around here? And if so, how to stop them?
As you guys ask the question about the undead, it tilts its head up slightly and then lets it hang down. And you guys can tell that there is some kind of bone severed or something severed in the back of the neck because it just hangs horribly.
Mhm.
And
Phelan, should we do this before? Let's take some time to prop up or shove a spike up its spine or some way. This lolling about is grotesque.
Here, I got you, buddy. And I hold its skull.
as you get up close to put your hand behind and support its head, it looks deep into your eyes and you look deep into its eye empty socket area, and it answers your question by saying, undead are only called when there is a great unbalance of good and evil. Restore the balance and everything will be well.
I look at Dwayne angrily. I look back at the skeleton dude. And I'm like, stupid. All right, fine. So if there's a balance, like a lack of balance between good and evil.
Well, then let's go slaughter some good people.
Okay, no, Dwayne, that doesn't seem like a good solution. But what could have caused the imbalance? What happened?
Make sure you're directing to whom that question should be.
I'm looking at Dwayne. I'm not like directing it at him. At the dead man.
Well, we have the orcs, we have the Iron Crisis, we have the glowy-eyed individual, we have a necromancer running about wailing undead. Take your choice.
Yeah, but
All
all
right.
of those seem like shitty things.
As you guys are discussing this, Felon, I assume your hand is still cradling the back of the skull.
I'm holding his head up for him.
You're probably like kneeling down and looking back at Dwayne and talking to him, and then turning back at the skull. And just during one of the times where you turn to look at Dwayne, you feel just an extra weight in your hand. And turning back to the talking head, you see its jaw has slackened, and
Mhm.
your spell that was once glowing around it it's completely dissipated, and it feels just like you're holding a dead body. You feel that anything that had previously animated it has now left. And Felon and Dwayne, can you both roll your choice, Arcana or Religion, please?
I think those are the same bonus for me. They are. I'll roll Religion, since that's probably. Wait! I'm gonna use my inspiration. Okay, much better.
Felon, the crisis of faith.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Okay, with that sudden, lapse in faith or whatever that was, you shake it out, and both of you can piece together that this would only happen if the body was recently the victim of a very similar or exactly the same spell within the last 14 days to 16 days. You can't quite tell.
Someone else has been here, Dwayne.
Well, that's fairly obvious by the slaughter of the man here.
No. I mean, someone. You must have known it. You're not stupid. Someone else cast this spell on this man recently. This man's clearly been dead a long time. So someone was here.
Well, the riddles on the door weren't particularly hard, and with a little more caution, I think the knights or the armor may not have been awakened. I don't know that everyone pokes their fingers into everything.
I don't know how they go through life, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, if we
Okay.
need to, we can retain the body for some time at least. There's a culprit I don't like very much. We could roll him up in and stuff him into the chest.
That feels disrespectful.
I'm sure the chest will recover.
That's not what I mean, Dwayne. He's a dead man. We should just, bring him outside and bury him.
If you like, I guess we can always disinter him.
Okay, all right, sure.
You sure you don't want to do one last check for stuff in his hands or feet?
I mean, yeah, I'll look over his body just to double check.
No, there's nothing. No, he doesn't have like monkey toes curled around anything. Nothing. No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll
Come
shrug.
on, witness, we have a hole to dig, and I think you might be good at it. He addresses the badger.
Hello. Felon looks down at the skull he is still cradling in his hands, and he says, "It would make a pretty cool paperweight, though." But no, that's disrespectful. I shouldn't do that. No, we should bury him.
Think of how jealous everyone would be of your new ink well.
No, that's too far. That's too far. Paperweight has some dignity to it. I think that's not.
Cloud, Briseis, or Briseis at least. You can come on over. The horror has passed.
Briseis, if you're coming around the corner, the first thing that you see coming around the corner is the badger just kind of lightly nibbling at the toe of the corpse, right behind Dwayne.
Well, she's not going to mess with the badger currently. Badger's being a badger. And the guy's being dead like he's supposed to be. So not going to complain so much about that.
So
Paperweight, she might complain about.
Felon would pass on the information they had learned, in addition to the fact that someone had been here recently and cast the same spell on the same man within probably the last 2 weeks to half a month, which I know is kind of the same, but still, you get my point.
So does that mean these things? And she gestures at the armor, like, are they going to reset themselves?
I'm not sure.
It didn't seem like there was a fight on the way in.
It didn't. We could, I don't know. Do we want to, there are doors here. Do we want to go through them? To keep looking? We might learn more. I don't know.
Are those doors? They look like decorations to me.
Yes, you remember them more aptly as decorations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had asked that last time.
Okay. All right. Never mind then. So I would say, well, I don't know. The fact that can Felon think back and see if he can recall who this might be referring to, the person who makes the wheels turn in Baldur's Gate? If there's anything that rings a bell, maybe somewhere in the back of his mind, or like if he read a treatise on the political situation in Baldur's Gate 100 years ago, or something like that.
You can go ahead and roll a history check to see if you remember what abouts was going on in Baldur's Gate times ago.
No, I don't think I remember.
Well, the wheel, you are pretty sure, was invented, hundreds of years ago. So it could be anybody from then until now. Or, well, at least, 6 years worth of decay. Yeah,
right.
About that.
Okay. So Felon would look down and say, I don't know what he's talking about. But we might be able to find out. Go back to Baldur's Gate. Maybe someone knows.
Well, that seems sensible. We have two of Baldur's Gate's guards waiting on us in town. A little girl runs stray, and a man was dying just a little ways back. I'm hoping they've finished the job and we won't have to deal with him. But if not,
they finished killing him?
One way or the other.
I hope they haven't killed him. It seems mean. Also, he wasn't dying. He was hurt, but he wasn't dying.
Well, if he finished dying, he'd be undead by now.
No. Okay. Let's get back. let's get back.
All right. So what are you guys doing? Are you bunkering down? Are you taking off? You guys have been down here for a while. You did take that short rest You had gotten here about noon, just before. You spent a while down here. You're not quite sure. Kind of lose time having, no windows, no view of the outside at all.
Oh, I totally spaced, actually. It's not that just a 30-minute rest. That'd be part of a short rest to gain the key points back. My bad.
Felon, what do you say before we head out? We spend a little time doing an identification on this portal. I'm curious whether we're in a different place, a pocket dimension, and see if maybe this doorway might answer some of those questions.
Okay, sure. Chill out for 10 minutes, guys. Felon pops a squat, starts casting Identify as a ritual. See what he can learn about this door. Portal, or whatever you want to call it.
So I'm sorry, you're casting what on the door? Identify?
Identify.
Okay. All right.
Is it really a portal, or is it just a shrinking spell? Are we standing inside a small hole in the wall?
Yeah, you don't get any kind of magic coming off of this hallway, just general, like trickery. Like he was just creating a fun room or a fun castle or an obstacle to go through that he thought was annoying for people.
Okay. I will share this.
The more I learn of this fellow, the less I like him.
And he seems far too fun for you.
Witness, that's not at all the sound the badger should make. Stop it.
It sits back on its haunches, like not liking being scolded by you.
Well, if it's just more of his amusements, I suppose we can go out and I'm sure there's at least one serviceable bed left in that town.
So who's crawling out first?
Go get it, witness.
Oh man, how did I miss Witness? Okay. All right. So it's more than happy to, basically do whatever you say, and also to crawl through what it seems like is a fairly reasonable sized hole. A little tight around the bottom, and then it climbs up the stairs and out of sight. You guys, having been on this staircase before, know that it is likely just ahead, as you can hear it scrounging and scraping, but you can no longer see it.
Well, the stairs didn't fall away under it, so I suppose I'll go next. And Dwayne heads out. Clang, 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 clang as the great axe bangs against the wall. How do people walk with these?
Briseis will go last. She has shenanigans to deal with to get through. She'll watch everyone's back.
Yeah, I'll go after.
Alrighty. So eventually you guys all get up and out. Dwayne, you follow the sounds of Witness, and you can already somehow sense exactly where he went. So you follow him through the darkness, and Felon or Cloud, whoever goes after that, you follow. And eventually you guys are all up. Back into the main part, into the big room that had really nothing in it besides, the elaborate painting and the staircase going down into nothingness.
Okay. Well then. I would say, unfortunately, we couldn't really ask about the water elemental, so I really don't know what to do about that. To be honest with you, I don't speak whatever it speaks.
Well, that I can help with. If we, Briseis, do you wish to be the one talking to it?
I suppose.
I don't know that it will be able to understand you, but you will at least be able to understand it.
So you guys are heading out, or going to the water elemental, or yes?
So we'll take a few minutes and cast a on me. Sorry. Haven't used this in a long time. I forgot. Can't put this on another person. I suppose I'll have to deal with it. I'll echo whatever it says to you, and you can decide what you wish to believe or not.
He does not have a way to tell the truth.
All right. As you each slowly exit the building, you enter into. There's a lot less daylight than when you had previously entered. The sun is quickly setting, and as you turn around to look at the building that you just exited, it returns to the same ruined, crumbled tower, overgrown with flowers and vines that you had seen when you first got close. Coming up to the lake, Briseis, you were the first one to get closer to the lake. As you approach, you hear water lapping and kind of moving a little bit faster and faster. And then the closer that you get, you see Coral appear quickly and just look extremely excited to see you. Just kind of bursting, do one of the backflips, and then come back up. Trying to get close to you, but still can't.
I think
Why
that
do you
just
have
happy
to
see
make
you.
him so cute?
Everybody's favorite water elemental.
Is he speaking? I'm not sure she could even tell.
No, it hasn't like tried communicating with you. It's just excited to see you, and it's kind of just looking around, like looking in your hands and looking at everybody else around you, and kind of just like looking a little confused, as if it expected you to, bring it something or something like that. You're not quite sure.
Are you looking for something? She like shows him her hands, like her hand.
Seeing you like display your hands to it, it just kind of turns its head a little bit and just kind of throws water towards your hand, and then looks expectantly at you. And points towards the tower, and then points back at you. And Dwayne, you hear a kind of like what it sounds like when somebody's trying to talk underwater. It's mostly bubble sounds, but you can kind of make out a couple words. Very basic stuff. You make out, alive, happy. Where is it?
Well, it seems to be happy we're alive and is curious as to where something is. Coral, can you understand us?
It was like previously just paying attention to Briseis, but when you say that, it turns to you, and it heard you say Coral, and it's just like, its eyes get even bigger, and it just kind of starts making big splashes to where it's starting to puddle up at your guys' feet, whoever's closest to the edge of the water. And it just looks right at you, Dwayne, and she's like, "You hear me?" and points at her.
Dwell nods. And, yes, I can hear you, and I can understand you, though I don't know if you can understand me.
I imagine during, like, while you're saying this, unconsciously, you're nodding a little bit, and
Yeah, he nods.
Coral just loses her shit at this. She just does, like, a spinning backflip lap and, like, slaps her forehead, or what you would imagine would be a forehead, and starts tapping, digits on the sand. Starts tapping digits on the sand, and looking back and forth as if this is, like, the most important conversation it's ever had, trying to phrase things correctly. And it points back at the tower again and says, "Wizard. Big. Scary." Say, "You," and points at you, but then points at Briseis and leaves the arm up. It says, "You hurt?"
It's like dealing with a child. And Dwell thinks about it for a few moments, and then he shakes his head. It is inquiring about either whether the wizard has hurt us or if we have hurt the wizard. Thinking that there's a big, scary wizard inside the tower. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk to this thing.
Was the big scary wizard the one that trapped you here?
No. I don't know that we'll be able to communicate that to it. With a bit of time and gold, I can study one of these other scrolls I've found. Allows us to speak as well as listen, but that would take me a day or two, and I really don't wish to stay here for a day or two.
Plus, your badger already seems to be allergic to the water elemental, so it's terrible.
And it's afflicting poor witness in some way.
How far away from here were we? I don't remember, like, what the proximity was from...
From you to the edge of the water, or?
No, from where we were before this.
Did you mean from Baldur's Gate we traveled about 3/4 of a day to the town, and then from the town to here was, I think, 20 minutes?
Yeah, about that, yep.
Okay.
Seeing the conversation between Dwayne and Briseis kind of go nowhere, Coral puts her hand up to her head and starts smacking her head a little bit, and does the thing where, like, I've got it, point finger in sky, and you see her go down under the water and then come back up and grow huge, big shoulders, big chest, and makes like a strongman kind of muscle pose and grows little icicles off of her shoulders, and looks at Dwayne and says, "Scary beast, sharp skin," and points at the tower. "Scary beast, sharp skin." And then Coral starts whipping her arm back, like in a circle. Many cycles ago.
Fallon, when we saw that picture in the kobold cave of
Yep.
our glowy-eyed friend, did you happen to sketch it?
I think so. Felon looks through his bag frantically. Like, I think it's in here. And he sort of he throws things out and looks through it. And then eventually he pulls it out and he shows it and he's like, haha, look.
Well done. And
Wow.
show that to the water and see if that's... Coral, is this what you're doing?
Not like so. Seeing the big sketch, Coral kind of gets as close as she can because there's something keeping her back. kind of squints at it and looks around the whole image. And when she lands on the depiction of the spiky armored, she flips in the back, and you can see the water kind of change temperature. The whole cover of it turns to like a thin sheet of ice. Little cracks start forming, and you can see the top of her head kind of poke out. You can see one eye come out, and you can tell that there's visible shaking going on there.
I didn't know elementals could feel fear. Well, Mercedes, Clown, Villain, do you have any interest in it? Apparently our spiky armored friend was here. May have been killed the mage. And appears to be, if that is connected, the person who turns the wheels in Baldur's Gate.
She said he was here many cycles ago. So that is, I would suspect, yes, is probably the person we saw in the.
Should see if there's anyone still alive. Maybe they'll know when this tower was destroyed. I mean, it's so close to the town.
Yeah.
Well, then shall we return to town? Rest there. I'm sure there's at least one house unoccupied with the number of dead there were. And then, if you wish, we can return and speak to Coral in the morning.
She kind of is like looking at Coral, like she feels really bad, like not wanting to leave her alone now, because she's apparently been alone for quite a long time.
Dwayne, I assume as you're saying this, you're kind of starting to pack up, like 5 minutes before the bell rings, and you're like shoving stuff in your bag. You're like, we should check on it in the morning. Okay, bye.
He's already starting to read through his Phantom Steed spell.
Maybe we should think about leaving. Already planning on leaving. Coral can kind of just starts looking at you and Bryceus looking sad, and like Felon and Cloud not really reading anything on them, and that weird, brown thing gnawing on something dead in the corner, and just gets this weird uncomfortable sense, and looks at Bryceus and gives Bryceus the same sad impression of don't go, and pops up completely. The water turns liquid again and comes up to the shore as close as possible and just shakes its head and looks at her.
Guys, I think I'm going to stay here for a while.
You want to stay here?
I want to... Yes, I do. She's not even going to try to explain why.
Sensing the tension between all of you, she kind of is like tries to get Dwayle's attention away from the spell, and is like, I go, and she makes mock legs, or what she thinks humans walk like, which is a lot of arm swaying that doesn't really happen, and kind of glides along the edge of the water and points at you and everybody singly, and then herself. I go, you.
How?
Does the big beef up thing again, and shoots water at a tree.
She's petitioning for some form of freedom, fairly obviously.
All right, well, come on, let's go. Felon makes a gesture like, let's go.
She's going to need some assistance. She's either magically bound here or bound to the water. I suppose we could try a bucket.
Yeah, exactly, a bucket. Felon runs back into the tower to see if there's a bucket.
You see a bucket. It doesn't have anything good in it currently, but it's a bucket.
Doesn't have any holes in it. That's all I need.
Well, go ahead and pick it up. We'll see.
I pick up the bucket. I look inside of it. Is there anything inside of it?
It doesn't smell good the closer you get to it. And there is some miscellaneous liquid sloshing around in it, yes.
Ugh. Well, at least we know it holds water. I dump out the liquid on the ground outside. Does it attack me?
No, I mean the
Okay.
smell it does, but nothing else.
I've smelled worse. And then Felon goes around and goes over to the lake and sticks the bucket in the water and then makes a gesture like, you bucket.
Yeah,
You
can you roll a d8, Felon?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure, Sid. I don't know why you need to roll a d8. I rolled a 7.
All right, so you're bringing the bucket over to the water and doing what?
I'm sticking it in the water, and then I'm pointing at Coral, and then I'm pointing in the bucket like, you bucket. You go in the bucket.
It shrinks itself back down after being all puffed up, and gives you a good thumbs up, and dives head first into the bucket, and its little head, kind of the top of its head, pops out of the top and stares at you happily. And then slowly it just starts to look around, and over the course of the next 2 minutes, you start to see its head slowly sink down further into the bucket as it kind of just looks at Bryce and it's like, help.
Is the bucket leaking?
Is
You
the
get that impression.
Oh, I hold up the bucket and do I see water coming out?
Yes, you see a
Bruce, hold
slow
on.
drip.
Okay. No, wait.
Thais can help?
We can fix this. Exactly. Yes. Correct.
Throughout this, Dwayne is just holding.
She just kind of flails a bit.
looking at you.
All right, so you mend the bucket, and there's no more dripping out of the bucket. So you kind of pick it up, Felon, and you inspect. You see no drips, and then as you pick it up and are looking at the bottom of the bucket, you look towards the lake behind it, and you see Coral's body without a head, and it's just animating and stretching its fingers and pointing at you and pointing at where its head should be.
I don't think this one's gonna work, team.
Phelan.
I put her head back in the lake.
Phelan,
Yes, Dwayne.
did we put anything that we don't wish to lose in the chest?
Interesting proposition. What have we put in the chest so far?
I mean, unless the meat was still in there, I think it was just those ruined weapons, wasn't it? And
Well,
armor?
we've gotten rid of.
Or
most
did we
of the
sell all
weapons.
that?
We
Please
sold
tell
all
me you
that.
got rid of the meat. Ugh.
Oh yes, that was given to.
Oh yeah. So I reach inside. I take out the 3 dirty green rocks, and I stick them in my bag. And then I'm like, now it's empty.
Well, that being the case, if we wish to bring along a sizable portion of coral, then just sink the chest.
All right. And fella opens the chest and drops it in the shallow end.
All right, you do that, and the fabric lining the chest quickly just gets completely saturated. You see coral kind of as you dip it into the water. You see the end butt of Coral's body just kind of slowly being sucked into the chest. Her arms go up by her head, and then all you see is the very tip of her head and her eyeballs just kind of looking up at you like, what just happened? Like she almost got flushed down a toilet, if those things existed. And you just see 2 little bloopy eyes kind of staring back at you from the chest.
Excellent. I pick it up, and then I walk 10 feet away from the lake.
Do keep in mind, if she is hostile, we've just given her an enormous amount of water to work with to kill us.
I mean, she was hostile. She would have killed us already when I put her in a bucket.
We're going to have to review bait again.
But now she's in a chest.
As you walk past Dwayne, with a Felon, as you walk past Dwayne with a chest, Dwayne, all you hear is love, 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 love. Yay, love.
Oh, that is going to be so annoying.
Excellent. All right.
Thais is smiling bigger than you've probably ever seen her.
Good work, team. Let's go back and save some people. Felon puts the strap that they've attached to the chest sort of around his back so it sits kind of by his butt with the lid open. so that she can look out.
Yes, you definitely fashioned the baby hoister for your back, and it works perfectly, exactly like you expect. She kind of can peek out a little bit. She's got her little water claws hanging over the edge, but she's not peeking out so much that if something were to happen, she could duck down.
And Felon would, before he puts her up, he'd be like, if something scary happens, do this, and he'd reach up and he'd like close the lid, and then he'd open it again, and he'd be like, see.
Yeah, when you close that lid for that brief second, you hear just like some bubbles blowing, and then you open it up and you hear and then she gives you the thumbs up again.
All right, excellent. And I walk away. Say, come on, guys, we got stuff to do.
Felon, did you just make a water elemental hold its breath?
I don't know.
Do water
They breathe?
elementals need to breathe?
I don't know. I just heard.
What do you roll?
Let's ponder it for a second.
Please don't experiment on her.
I mean, I already put her inside of our chest of holding, so that's too late for that. And inside of a bucket.
Well, I mean, don't check to see if she's going to suffocate to death if you close the lid.
No, that'd be silly.
The first
In any
bright
case,
light your group
Are you
gets.
quite ready to be away now?
I'm ready.
He's halfway through the Phantom Steed spell again.
The felon would start walking back towards the village.
Felon, you walk past Bryceus, who's now kind of staring at the chest on your back, trying to convince you guys not to test whether or not water elementals can breathe. And the Coral is just kind of bobbing there and kind of reaches out towards Bryceus. It makes a grin towards Dwayne until Dwayne finishes casting his terrifying riding beast thing, and then it just kind of dips back down into the chest.
It's just like, yeah, I know.
All right, and you guys are off. You're heading. The sun is pretty much set now, so it's getting pretty dark. You guys are surrounded by a lot of forest. Are you heading back into town, or are you gonna try and push for Baldur's Gate? What are you guys doing?
Back to town. The guards, the girl, the dying man.
Didn't someone cast something on? Didn't Felon cast Cure Wounds on him or something? So
I did, yes.
he should be dying, injured, maimed probably. But
I don't know. He seemed like the lazy sort. He might have just given up the ghost.
All right, so you guys make your way back towards the town. Obviously darker now, and much darker than this town normally is because, everybody's dead. You do not, coming back out, you remember leaving the gentleman right at the edge, but he is suddenly magically not there where you left him. But all the other dead bodies are. Is anybody leading with a seeing device, or are you guys just trying to navigate all the blood and debris on your own?
Leading with a seeing device?
light, I'm imagining.
Yes,
Oh.
light. It is very dark. There is
Well-
nothing.
I have
Will
dark
is
vision.
casting light as he goes.
I mean, yeah, and I have dark vision, so I don't care.
Okay. So you guys make your way back to the town. Dwayne, you were the last one to kind of see him back when everybody was playing their forest games of where am I? Where are you? And Bryceus is like, hey, go check the town. See if you can walk that way. And you went, you saw him, but he's not where you left him. Not sure where he went, but he is no longer there. And neither is anybody. As you guys approach, not quietly either. You've got a sloshing backpack and, you know, other general noises. You don't really hear anybody aside from you hear
Ho the town.
One of the-
Redo.
yeah.
Other one. Where are you?
You hear some rustling in that building over there. And upon your approach, you hear your two guard buddies, Gare and Redo, come out of that house and come up to you guys. Where the hell did you guys go?
To the
Orc
tower?
and undead hunting.
I've been gone for hours. We were getting ready to leave. I mean, it's kind of gruesome around here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't clean up the bodies, huh?
I don't know. I didn't want it to attack us again. Figured it was best to bunker down and rest.
I suppose.
That seems to be the way of
Briseis
it.
is gonna like slowly start going over to the bodies and saying a little prayer for each one.
Did you happen to notice which of the houses were the nicest?
Past tense speaking, it looks like they kind of picked out one of the nicer ones, less blood inside. Other acceptable one would be this one down at the end. It looks larger, and like it doesn't have nearly as many dead bodies right in front of it. Briseis, are you doing this on all the dead bodies or just what looks like villagers?
Villagers.
Okay. So you guys all picking a house, or is it just Dwayne picking his own house?
What time is it? Like time of day, do we think?
You're guessing about 7 p.m.
Felon would say, I think it's probably worthwhile to get rid of these bodies. I'm not a fan of saying orcs have good ideas, but burning the bodies was not a bad idea, given the present climate.
Plan on bunking here for the evening. I don't mind summoning a few servants to carry them over and finish the work. I'm sure they can all go in that pile of bodies over there.
Okay, let's be a little bit more respectful about it than that. But yeah, I would generally agree that I don't know that we have a choice at this point. Like, if we leave them down, we could wake up in the middle of the night to find them all come back as zombies.
All right, so then let's be rid of them.
Felon would look at Briseis to see what her thoughts on this are.
She's going to agree.
All right, well, let's get hauling then. And Felon's going to walk over.
They're dead. Undead is a thing that's been happening. She can't really cast Gentle Repose that often, so
Yeah, done. Can't cast it that many times.
so
Can we make a separate orc pile?
Yeah,
I'm
there's
gonna make
plenty.
a-
I
I'm
mean,
gonna make a
that
separate
big
orc
pile. That pile only has like villagers on it, but you can absolutely do whichever you like.
Felon is going to make a separate orc pile.
You
All
intend
right.
to burn those too, don't you?
Yes, but I don't want them together. I don't know.
Elves.
Feels disrespectful. Excuse me. This has nothing to do with the fact that I'm an elf.
Cloud, do you weigh in on this at all? Orcs versus humans, or all in the same pile?
Well, I mean, the people who were from the town or whatever that got, like I feel like, piling your bodies in the same zone as their murderers is a little disrespectful.
Exactly. Thank you. Also, they're filthy orcs.
it's a lot disrespectful.
Well, I wasn't going to the racism argument so much, but yeah, it seems like a bad plan to lump them all
Distances,
together.
Of course. Oh, sorry.
What was that, Casey?
I was going to say, Dwell's version of assistance is chain casting unseen servants and having them haul the bodies so that he doesn't get dirty.
Yeah, so as you guys systematically, Dwayne, I'm sure there's a lot of pointing on your end of that one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there. As Felon and, Briseis and Cloud grab one at a time, your servants are just multiplying. And Redo and Gare were starting to help you guys sort. And when they turn around to grab another body and they see a million of Dwayle's unseen servants, like they just see like everything moving and they're just like, what the hell is going on? Why do they all...
Because I'm impatient.
It's magic.
They're not
Gary.
very good at keeping a lookout, so I would suggest you two do that.
Yeah, sure. And they both look in opposite directions quickly, happy for the distraction. Is one of you starting to light a fire, or are you guys burning this in the morning, or what are you doing?
No, we should light it now.
As soon as possible.
Otherwise, this is how you get like a giant, like amalgamation of corpses into a horrible flesh monster. So you want to burn them quickly.
And as they're going over, Dwayle's got one servant that's in charge of separating out anything shiny and anything important looking.
You want to make piles of shoes, piles of hair, piles of golden teeth, piles of
something
clothes. You know,
More
that's
keys
the
to
basics.
houses. Coinage.
Alrighty. So, whoever is lighting the fire, go for it. Pick which pile you do first. I assume you all are gathering up. Gare and Redo are kind of, still keeping an eye out, but, they're basically children, so they like a good bonfire, just like everybody else. So they're kind of coming in close. They fought pretty hard, just like you guys. They want to see these respect and, justice.
I guess we should probably light the villagers on fire first. Say a few words, light them on fire, and then
I'll feel free to add musical accompaniment for whoever is offering any kind of any sort of a eulogy.
Never say so definitely. Some sort of sermon that she knows.
All right, so Cloud and Bryceus, you guys are kind of going over by the villagers, and just before everything gets lit on fire, Cloud, you start your song. I imagine it's similar to the one you played for Ted, but
Yeah, probably.
And in doing so, you start into the first and second verse or what have you of the song, and you really kind of get into the groove of things, and you feel revitalized, very similar to how you felt just after Ted's eulogy song.
Oh, okay.
Feel a refreshment or something. And Bryceus, you while this is very sad for you, saying a prayer over the bodies definitely kind of brings you back to kind of what you wanted to be doing, or so you feel, helping put people at ease. You made a new friend who was playing with the fire as you guys were trying to start lighting it. Coral would pop out and kind of shoot water at it. Be like, no. And until one of you was like, stop that. Dwayle, I imagine you were just shooting Coral a look to stop it or something. And
No, Dwayle just ups the fire.
Isn't that always Dwayle's move?
Eversace knows that, Coral probably can't really understand her without that spell, but she'll stand there and talk to her and explain what's going on and just make her feel included, so she's not just sitting in a box, just talk gently to her.
Yeah, you feel a strange connection with the beast that you can't quite understand, and you guys develop your own sort of Morse code-ish bubble sounding language that's just, okay, good, okay, safe. So you guys have 3 words so far.
okay. Also, Felon is going to root around in either the inn or someone's house to look for lantern oil or alcohol, something flammable, and then he's just going to douse the orcs with it.
As you start looking for stuff, Redo just nudges Gare's shoulder and is like, watch both. I gotta go, and points at you. And he runs over to you. He's like, "What are you looking for, man? We've looted all this whole area while you guys are gone. What do you need?"
You find any oil or anything, like lantern oil?
I mean, not much. It's in our house over here, and he brings you
Your house.
Well, I mean, just whatever, man, where we were staying. We were waiting for you guys. It's here, just come on. And he brings you over to the house, and as you walk in, you see the most organized stash of looting. That's the only description for it in the house. You see a couple lanterns full of oil. They've got a few empties on the ground, so they've obviously kind of pooled stuff together. You also see some crates full of God knows what, and you see about 4 bottles of some brown liquid with a big X on the side of the bottle.
I say, impressive work, gentlemen. Do you have a manifest?
Manifest?
You didn't catalog the things you found here. I just assumed you were so organized. It seems like you would have some sort of master list of the stuff that's here.
Like in writing?
Yep, in writing.
Well, I mean, I scratched on the side of this one, and he points at one of the crates, and it's like a circle with a stick at the top of it. He's like, that's the fruit.
I see. Okay. All right. Maybe
Now-
I'll do that tonight.
Can I watch?
Sure. Do you have a fondness for inventory?
Well, I mean, I've never written before, but I'd like to try.
Okay. All right. Is this Gare or Redo?
This is redo.
Redo? All right, Redo. You and me tonight. But first, I need this lantern oil, and Felon would heft the lantern oil and take it outside and douse the orcs in it.
Yeah, you got a new buddy. Redo's following you with the other one and going around the other side of the circle from you and just pouring it all over. Spends a little extra on that giant body in the middle.
Understand. Also, more like Reed do, am I right?
He turns to you and he just shakes his head. I've heard it, man. It's not funny. I can't. It's not
But, like,
nice.
you said you wanted
I
to
can't
learn
read.
Yeah, but you
But
said
I
you
feel
wanted
like
to
you're just
learn how
making
to
fun of me
read.
because we just
No,
had a moment in the house, and now you're just.
Just pour the oil on the bodies, Redo. We'll deal with this later. Just making a stupid joke.
All right, he throws the rest of the lantern in there, knowing that he has many if they need it, and they're out of oil anyway, so screw it.
All right. It's like this bad boy. Fawn throws in a torch.
Whoops.
All right, so throwing the torch on that one. That the other fire was a little bit contained because it had structure to it. This one is just a big pile of big, smelly flesh, and so this one's a little more out of control, a little brighter. The tip of the flame is black and sooty and probably sending out some smoke signals and stuff like that. Probably pretty bright. It brightens up the whole area of this first house and the bush that Dwayle's hiding by.
I am leaning against a tree. Not
Ah,
hiding in a bush.
gotcha. The tree that Dwayle is leaning against. And yeah, so you guys light the fires. The bodies are burning. It smells lovely in general. And Redo pulls out one of the bottles of brown liquid, takes a deep swig, and passes it over to Felon.
I'll take it.
He gives you a little nod of respect.
Phelan, out of curiosity, did your new friends happen to see what happened to that young girl and the wounded fellow?
Oh yeah, what happened to the survivors?
Survivor. Oh, the guy over there, and he points at where the guy was left. He's like, yeah, we had him sleeping in the house for a little while. But we went out to scrounge some houses. We came back and he was gone. So I guess he got better. I don't know.
He was just gone. Oh, Garen, Redo.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to leave you guys here to go search for some dude. We figured he was better enough to walk off, then maybe he should.
Did he? Okay. Did he? Did the little girl go with him? Have you seen her?
We haven't seen any little girl.
Oh, yeah, there was no little girl. What are you asking about a little girl for, Dwayne? I look back at him.
I beg your pardon.
There was no little girl.
The one you went. Entertain whatever fantasies make you sleep better.
No, Dwell, there was no little girl. There was never a
Chase
little girl.
into the woods.
That was a boy, and he never came back here, apparently.
That was a boy.
Thought so. I mean, I didn't get a good look. I didn't ask him.
That was
But
the most
I thought so.
girlish squeal I've ever heard.
Well, the girlish squeals came from the little girl that got eaten, Dwell.
At that comment, Redo pulls the bottle out of Felon's hand and kind of just takes it back.
Clearly does not know Felon well enough to know that the alcohol had no effect on that comment. But Felon would shrug and say, I mean, we couldn't follow him. I don't know where he went. Unfortunately.
Well, I certainly can't see well enough in this to go stalking a child, nor do I wish to. So, if we have everything burning well, I would say we get some sleep and carry on from there.
Sounds good to me, I suppose.
So you guys are hunkering down?
Mm-hmm. Felon sleeping in the inventory room so that he can do inventory when he wakes up.
Dream come true.
Briseis will probably hang around outside for a little while just to make sure the fires don't get like out of hand. Because I mean, this one's technically next to a house and trees and stuff. Just to scream an alarm if something goes wrong.
So I assume Briseis is like first watch. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did just get attacked. You're smart adventurers. Surely wouldn't leave yourselves unguarded.
Yep.
All right, so Briseis is taken first. Anybody else want to take round two?
She'll keep Coral with her if no idea if Coral sleeps, but she'll chill with Coral while this is going on.
Dwell will alarm up the entrances to his new house.
Redo and Gare like the way you talk. All right, so you alarm all the entrances and you kind of go in for the night. Briseis is taking first watch. Is anybody else watching? You guys all tucked in?
I'll take a watch at some point. Yeah, I was debating like finding a spot on top of one of like the buildings to like bed down up there, just to kind of be a high vantage point.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You pick your poison, whichever one you want to climb on top of. All the roofs seem to be fairly intact, although you might not want to do this one just because of the proximity to fire.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go up over here somewhere.
Good night, Cloud Boy.
All right, so as you guys all hunkered down for the night, whoever is taking first watch, roll 2 d20s, please.
2?
2, please.
Wait, her.
Let's hope you want high. The silence from the DM is not reassuring. That sounds like a table being checked.
Okay, so I have Dwale in House of Wands and Alarms, and I have 7 on top of Roof, and I have Briseis kind of just chilling. Felon is sleeping with the inventory. Briseis, can you give me a perception check with advantage if you're using shield?
Yeah, it's still attached. Advantage. Yeah.
Oh.
She's really
Okay.
not good at this.
All right. So the first hour of your watch passes. Once you get into the hour and a half, kind of as you're doing one of your patrols, to your eyes suddenly, to the west, you see three humanoid-sized bodies slowly walking down this road. They look to be accompanied by something large on four legs.
Yeah, she's immediately going to start making noise. Guys, something's coming. And
What?
Why? Out of curiosity, did that first hour grant us the benefits of a short rest?
Yep.
Yay!
All right.
Less all the way dead.
Yeah, just want to get those key points back. I'm not so worried about spending hit dice.
Well, I'm very worried about spending hit dice.
Well, I mean, I would be, but like, I'm not going to blow them if we were effectively trying to get an overnight, I guess. Well, I guess I could. I only really need like one. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
What is it, Briseis? He just sort of leans out his windows.
I'm not going to actually get down off the roof. I'm going to actually, if at being woken up, I'm going to like hunker down really low and like hug the roof and like kind of barely peer over the edge, trying to keep as hidden as possible.
she's like,
So kind of
can
as you
she
guys,
see what they are? Dark vision? Is that too far away?
so they are actually starting to close in right now.
So she could see here-ish.
And with that light emanating as well, Gare and the other redo. I'm sorry, the reader would be the best way to put it. And you see a small, what looks to be a male human, a female human, some sort of child, and a dog appear in your vision.
They seem alive.
I mean, yeah, they've been walking slowly. You can kind of as soon as they crested over the hill and saw the larger flames, there was actually a little bit more motion out of them. What? That's a lot.
Briseis will slowly walk up to meet them.
Or is it,
Are you
Is
all
it-
right?
the village? We had just gone to Baldur's Gate to try to get a new plow. What? Is everyone gone? Why is everyone burning? Did you what? Is this
I'm very, very sorry.
like you can see the father kind of looks crestfallen, and he just what this is what we. I mean, there was the undead, yeah, but that never came to our area, and now this.
There've been undead around before.
I mean, it's been something to look at the undead and orcs and iron and I guess it never would happen here. I guess we'll just he looks more tired than anything else. It's just is it safe?
believe so.
I mean,
currently,
for a night.
for a night, we'll be here. You shouldn't stay here.
Well, for a night. Like you can see that he's kind of looking at the house that's behind him. This one. I mean, this is like we need to take our things and go. But I don't want to travel at night. Will it be safe here?
She said they stay for tonight, but you
Oh,
shouldn't remain.
thank you. Yeah.
We're here.
Thank you. I don't care what anybody says about your kind. You're you're very nice.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
And he takes his child and moves towards the house, and you can kind of hear some rummaging and some of cloth rustling and nothing. And nothing else really appears in that area. Cloud, can you give me 2d20
Sure thing.
if you're on second? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
that's fine.
I am not sure.
And then whoever's on third and fourth, I don't know if that got divvied up, how it got divvied up. Just 1d20.
Felon can do it because I don't know how long the cataloging the stuff in the room would take, but I can't imagine much longer than 2 hours. So he could just stay up and chill out the rest of the night.
Okay. Huzzah. As your fire burns down by the middle of the night, besides the arrival of a unfortunate family, your night is restful as it can be with two giant pyres just being burnt.
All right. So the rest of the night, passes by pretty uneventfully, and you guys wake up to a very bright morning. Despite the disgusting smells of the burning flesh overnight, you still hear some birds chirping in the nearby trees and bushes, and they're chirping pretty loudly enough to wake you up.
Felon would be up and around already, making breakfast.
Yeah,
Not
so
on the bodies, the burning bodies. Just to clarify.
naturally, grab some glowing embers, separate them, and start cooking whatever breakfast. You have a friend in Redo who's kind of just trying to read your inventory list and has been for the past 2 hours.
Yeah,
pretty much ever since there was light.
Felon would be answering any questions he has, reading him through it, or helping him through it, teaching him, starting with numbers because those are probably the easiest to understand and probably the most generally useful, and then working his way up from there.
So instead of fruit shape,
Mm-hmm.
you use letters,
Right?
and then
letters.
You have a number next to the letters, and that means how many fruits you have.
Correct. And you can even differentiate it further by saying so many apples or so many bananas or whatever fruits are around here.
That's so smart.
Well,
I told people they don't taste the same. They shouldn't be counted in the same box, but they never listen to me.
I would agree with you, Redo. They should not be counted the same. While I do love both an apple and a banana, I feel like they're not the same. You can't make a banana. Well, you could make a banana cream pie, so never mind. Take that back.
That sounds delicious. I don't know what that is.
Oh, redo. You have so much. You have so much to learn and discover yet. But anyway, keep working on the manifest. I have sausages to cook.
All right.
Say also get up with the dawn and do her prayers and sit and have a quiet conversation with Lysander.
All right. If you guys want to do anything else besides prayers and cook sausages before you go, say so now. Otherwise, I assume you kind of start packing up shop.
I have.
And Perseus will check on that family first. Like,
No,
just
go
to
ahead.
see that they're okay.
All right. So, Bryceus, you head over, maybe even with some of the miscellaneous fruit and cooked sausages as a present to knock on their door. And you knock, and you hear a low growl and a no thank you, no thank you from inside the house.
Brought something to eat.
Ooh, that's nice. That does smell good. Hold on a second. And you hear like something being dropped and somebody whispering, yelling at somebody else. No, I said just put it over there. Just okay. I'm gonna go get. Okay. And somebody comes to the door and kind of creaks it open a little bit and peeks her head out and says, "Hello, hi. We're just getting ready to go. I mean, there's really nothing left for us in this town, so we were just gonna, pack up and here, let me come out." And she creaks open the door just a little bit, enough to shove her body through, and then shuts the door behind her with her arm behind her. Anyway, so what's that? Delicious. That smells amazing. What is that?
Sausages and fruit. A friend of mine made it.
You guys are so sweet. I wish you were in the town before, all of this. And she gestures towards the smoldering piles of dead bodies. Where are you lot headed now, anyway?
We're planning on going back to Baldur's Gate. But I was wondering if I could ask you something.
Oh, yes, anything. And she kind of takes the plate and starts picking at the fruit.
How long have you lived here?
Well, my husband and I haven't been here for very long, but I grew up here years and years ago. Gosh. I mean, it's never polite for a woman to give away her age, but, tell you what, that building wasn't here, and that one wasn't here either.
Do you know anything about that tower?
Oh, yes. The Lanter's Tower, is that what brought you here? It's what brings everybody here.
Do you know how long it was? Like, we saw that it was destroyed. Do you know how long it's been that way?
Well, the Lantern died, And she kind of just, gets lost in her mind for a second, thinking back. It's like, well, he died a number of years ago. Long before I was born, he died, but everybody was so in awe of his tower, and it brought many visitors around, so they kept it up for years. But I mean, after the big orc battles that came through here years ago, about, gosh, I want to say about 30 years ago, it had to have been, all the orc battles that happened in the area. Ever since then, we've had vandals around, and they just slowly tore it up. Every morning we'd come back, and they'd have destroyed a new area in the tower. It's a shame.
Thank you for that. She's trying not to seem kind of suspicious of this behavior, but she's like, I hope you find a safe place to go. We're probably heading back to Baldur's Gate if you'd like to travel with us.
Well, I mean, we are headed back that way ourselves, but we're not quite ready to leave just yet. There's some loose ends we need to tie up in town, you know, pay our respects, and I'm sure you understand. But
Of course.
perhaps we'll run into you if you'll be at Baldur's Gate. It would be nice to see a friendly face.
She'll nod. I wish you well then.
Oh, okay. Take care, dear. Okay, bye. And she takes the sausage inside, what's left of the plate.
She's gonna head back and relay what she said about the tower and just be like, something doesn't feel right with how she was acting. She just seemed to be hiding something. It could be nothing,
Well,
but I don't know.
do you want to like go talk to her again? Break into her house?
I don't think that's necessary.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know how deep the suspicion ran.
I don't know. They don't seem keen on leaving too quickly.
Hmm.
And I would think that would be the first thing somebody would want to do, considering what happened.
Right. Yeah, I would personally. I don't know. What do you two think? Looking at Dwayne and Cloud
Hmm? What's that?
about the suspicious people.
Suspicious people in an empty town full of loot. I'm not seeing where there's a disconnect.
You think they just want to stay so that they can loot their neighbors' houses?
Well, didn't Gare and Redo already start doing the same thing?
I mean, they completed the same thing. Yeah, fair.
She mentioned that the wizard was dead. Did anybody really know that he was dead?
Oh, I would think so. It's been some time, hasn't it?
Shrugs, I don't know, wizards. She wiggles her fingers like.
Well, I mean that the corpse we talked to described themselves as like a gatherer of knowledge and stuff like that, which sounds a lot like a lot of wizards. And he's been dead half a decade, maybe a decade. So wouldn't surprise me.
She said 30 years.
30 years. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think everything just has me on edge right now.
Well, I was wondering, Cloud, if you had any interest in heading a bit east and seeing if there were any tracks of that boy or girl or whatever.
I suppose we could take a look.
I've been rather curious to know whether it was some trick.
I would need some sort of a reminder, like, because these people happened when I was not here, I think. Right?
Yes. The man who was wounded directed us towards the tower.
Right.
There we came upon a girl who was quite dead and being eaten. Some zombies.
Oh well, right. I remember
dispatched.
that was out of character. That was the beginning of like last week, right?
Yes.
But wait, so going back to look for tracks from them?
I'm almost certain the three of you haired off into the forest after a child, and then you darted about like fools, and then we came upon the tower. But was it some trick of the wizards then?
Maybe.
When we went into the woods, we were coming out in different places. Even when I went back the way I came in, I came out again in a completely different place.
Yes, but when you went into the woods, it was after a child, wasn't it?
Yeah, but when we went into the woods, we always came back around the tower. But when the child went into the woods, they didn't come out around the tower.
Yes. You're not at all curious where that child went.
I am, but I don't know what we can do to save them.
I'm not worried about saving them. I just want to know where they went.
Oh, that's kind of ruthless. I do appreciate the curiosity, though. We could try.
No, shall we take an hour or so this morning, go and take a look about now that we have some light and If not, we can come back and, catch your new friends doing whatever nefarious deeds they were going to do, and then rout them and take whatever they found.
I suppose, sure. I'm up for it, at least.
Okay, so you guys are heading back towards the tower? Or some of you?
Yeah, it seems that way.
All right, who's heading back that way?
Everybody, I believe.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And as we go, we're going to make our footsteps really loud and be like, bye, guys.
While Gare is kind of like, where are they going? He looks at Redo as if, maybe he knows what's going on, and Redo's just like sitting cross-legged in the middle of the road reading inventory lists from Felon. Doesn't really even seem to notice. So you guys walk back towards the tower. Are you approaching the same way you were before? Are you going a different route?
Can we go like around the trees? Try to avoid the tower. See if we
Yeah.
can from the other
Let's
side.
pull up a different map. As you guys start to head back down that way, Coral kind of pops out of the chest a little bit and kind of looks around and just, starts shaking a little bit in the chest, whoever's carrying it.
Say so. Tell her like safe.
Okay, yeah, she starts to calm down with one of your words. Safe.
I don't know if Felon's still carrying it. She'll walk close and put her hand, I guess, on the edge of the box. So
You get that same bubbly nuzzle that you got before, back when, she was in the lake. And you guys can you come around the edge of the, if you guys can see it there, you come around the edge of the wood, closer towards the river, kind of hugging the river, and you see a break in the woods. You start heading back in the direction that you imagine the tower is. Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You roll a survival check, please.
Sure.
I will assist him by pointing out all the places he should have looked but didn't.
Okay, just a straight survival.
Well, because of Dwayle's assistance with advantage.
Well, I didn't know if that would actually help or not, or if that could have been disadvantage.
that could make things worse.
Exactly.
He is up on his. What did you summon to ride around today?
Well, obviously, it's my high horse at the moment.
Womp womp.
All right, yeah. So you guys are, you followed the river a ways, and then you hooked straight south. Towards where you imagine the tower would be. And Cloud, you're looking on the ground the whole time, and you're looking, and Dwayne says something about how, if you see broken branches, it really kind of denotes that there's something in the middle. And Cloud, you look up
and
at
as he's doing this, like every time he tries to give some sort of bit of information like that, like I'm rolling my eyes while looking in the opposite direction from him, not letting him see that I am rolling my eyes just so hard. And I'm just like nodding. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Opticians everywhere.
It's fascinating. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard's plane.
I also would like to note that with the rolling it twice with advantage, I did actually do worse on the second roll. So, yeah.
Explain this to you.
Cloud, you walk a couple steps, and in the rolling of your eyes, you look to your left. And you look to your right, and you kind of take a few steps back, and you notice that you're actually stepped in a large print of some kind.
Oh, okay. Like how large and what kind, if I can identify.
It's about 3 feet across and what looks to be about 5 feet in length. Can you roll a nature check to see if maybe you can figure out
Sure.
what the heck would make that?
Not likely, but let's see how this goes. Ah!
Not
Okay.
likely, he says.
Well,
So with the natty 20, you are absolutely sure this is something giant of the giant subtype.
okay, so like a vaguely humanoid foot then.
Very vaguely and
Right.
warbled, but yes. Mhm.
Right. Okay. I immediately begin looking around. I assume that there are other similar large prints, spaced a giant stride apart.
Yeah, so as you see the edge of the forest appear, you see the butt end of another print, as well as now that you're noticing it, you're kind of looking up and you're wondering how you didn't notice it before, but you see the trees parted in a very specific way, looking back towards the river. You see a big like mud dip towards the river, which if it was smaller, you would think it was somebody just slipping.
Um, and I kind of lower my voice a little bit and think we have very large company.
Dwell sort of
Like-
leans to the side and helpfully points out, I don't believe a little girl made that print.
It's quite astute of you. And I kind of gesture and point towards the split in the trees and like pointing out the stuff I saw.
Hmm.
That's big.
Quite,
Certainly
yes.
is. But
So you guys going forward, you going back, what you doing?
Which way is this? This is towards.
So you are right where the Pinemoor is. So right by Baldur's Gate, just outside, following the river.
Oh, okay.
And you are right by Pinemoor, and you guys kind of followed the river and then took an edge down towards the forest.
East or
Gotcha.
west? Oh, to the east. Okay.
yeah, and
Yep.
the tower is like nestled in like a crook of the forest with the forest on three sides, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not unusual for there to be giants in woods, right? That's not that weird.
Yeah, you guys are. The tower was right there by the E in the.
Yeah.
And right now, you guys are kind of over this way.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure that this is really connected. Yeah, there's probably giants around, but I don't think they have anything to do with the weird way the wood's reacting or anything else like that.
Unless the giants are part of the imbalance of good and evil that we were warned against.
I suppose. But
I don't see that a rogue giant is worth following, and should it have encountered the little girl, I seriously doubt there's anything to recover. So,
That's quite fatalistic.
I mean, he's not wrong. The kid wandered into the wood of sharp teeth. I don't think that their chances of survival is not great, just based on the name alone. And I don't know how to follow him because I have no idea where he went.
As you guys are standing around discussing this, can you roll me a perception check? Anybody that's kind of looking around?
And I'm definitely eyeballing things.
self-involved.
Yeah. So yeah, Bryceus and Cloud, you guys definitely are more aware of your surroundings than Dwayne is being at the moment. And you guys kind of hear You guys kind of hear it's very faint, but it sounds almost like rumbling, like thunder, kind of, but it's too structured to just be something in nature. And you hear, "Rolo, rolo."
Mana.
That doesn't sound good.
I
Does
assume
anybody
coming.
speak
oh.
giant in our group here?
No.
No.
I assume it's coming from the direction of down by the mud embankment thing and stuff.
Yeah, you guys kind of hear it. So you guys are right about here. You guys kind of hear something a little further down around the river bend. You're guessing in that direction.
What are you all looking at?
Not you, Dwayne. Gosh, why not?
Well, I did find a speck of dust. I think on my next horse I'll put mud flaps.
We should probably leave, right? We should definitely leave. Look, do you want to fight a giant? I don't really want to fight a giant.
Cloud resists the urge to mention all the different things of a giant that Felon could taste. But
Gross.
so many new
Like,
flavors.
It's like cannibalism.
Although, while I understand the danger of this, the idea of this is kind of interesting because, like, I don't think I've ever experienced a giant firsthand, and it's it's a little different than like, oh, here's a horde of orcs. This is something like new and interesting. I mean, if you want to continue on, I can always catch up with you later.
You want to go fight a giant on your own?
Oh, I didn't say fight.
So as they're talking, Dwayne is just sitting here casting Phantom Steed over and over.
You know that giants are usually like pretty nasty, right? They're not really interested in talking.
I don't think they're especially known for their speed, if I'm not incorrect. Yes?
Right. But I'm not exactly like super fast.
Well, that's why I'm saying that I can catch up to you later if something happens. I can outrun a giant.
If you want to take that risk, that's your risk to take.
So as you two are arguing, and Dwayle's over there just casting his steed over and over again.
Oh no,
sure...
he's acquiring a small herd in case the group needs to get away fast.
I don't think extra legs makes it move faster. Like, you can't stack horses together.
Of course you can. You ride one till it's exhausted and dies, and then you ride the next one. Have you no idea of horsemanship?
That's not how you do horses.
That's how you do horses quickly.
As you're creating,
You don't have any horses.
as you're creating your group of stuff, you see a shadow round the corner, and you hear "Whoa!" and points at your gangly steeds or whatever you have summoned. And something has spotted at least your group of animal-like things, if not all of you.
Wait, she's like, it's to spin the map.
I was going to say, it seems like it's stretched in a weird way.
Oh, it's gonna be stretched.
Ah!
It's the only way I can fit giants on the map, is to make the map
Oh.
giant.
That actually looks like 3D when you did that.
Looks fine in this direction.
Okay. as you hear more. And since you guys were investigating to the west, you may station yourselves at that end.
Which side of the river?
I believe it was the former side, because you guys were looking into the children's path.
So top
Sorry,
or
the
bottom?
southern side.
Southern side. So down here behind this like
Yes.
clump of
And then
trees.
the extra tiling, like if we need more tiling, I can make more tiling as needed. Southern, western, however. More tiling is always possible. More stretched map just makes it look nasty. And then I will bring up the tracker. We can drop in some initiatives.
What? You mean these giants don't want to talk?
They might.
They've been talking to you guys the whole time.
It's just nobody's responding to them.
Like, hey.
I think they just want to eat Dwayle's horses.
So we give them to him. I'm fine with that.
All right, I've had my ice cream. I am powered up now.
The shield gives initiative.
Advantage on initiative.
Does this actually roll on advantage, or do I have to roll it twice?
I
don't
think
think
you have to roll it twice and take the better.
You can there's under the cog, you can change initiative style to advantage.
Ooh.
I tried doing that. I don't know if it worked right with advantage or with initiative. I don't know. I have the toggle turned on and off.
No. There's a specific thing. If you go to the cog wheel, there's
really?
initiative style, and then you
Really?
change it to advantage. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
It's its own
oh,
thing.
so there is.
Initiative
cog.
style,
The
advantage.
middle column, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See now.
I just have the initiative buttons at the top of my sheet to toggle back and forth as needed for whichever roll.
Yeah, I don't think
There you
that affects initiative because normally
Really?
that's. Yeah, I don't think the
All right.
toggles at the top affect it.
All right, let me do that. Let me do just a test because I've got a 20. I'll re-enter, but let me see if I put advantage. I
Yeah,
wasn't-
it
I
does
wasn't-
keep
One
it.
roll.
I wasn't
in the-
selected. Oh yeah, that's weird. Okay, yeah, initiative definitely works separately. Okay, so noted.
Okay.
Who is actually carrying Coral right now?
If Bryce is asked to, Felon has no problem with that, but Felon has been carrying the chest, so he had been doing it just because that's what he'd been doing.
Because I know she was carrying it, like the chest itself, beforehand anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. You can have it. Not a big deal to me.
Yeah. So, and then there's some pointing, and then these giants look like they've found a outcropping with some rocks, and it looks like they're motioning to pick up those giant rocks. Cloud, you're the one who found these footprints. You're the one who knew that they were most likely to show up, and you're the most interested.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, us all standing here in a big cluster is probably not a very good plan. I move to about here. So that's like 45. And then I am going to, it looks like they're picking up big boulders.
Yeah.
All right. Just being cautious, I'm going. Would I know enough about giants to know that they tend to be rock throwers? I don't know if that nature roll would have given me more info or not.
I'd say between a 20 and the
Yeah.
fact that they're going to go reach down and they're
Yeah.
four boulders.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and oh wait, hold on, wait a minute. I don't think I can use catch missiles as on rocks.
It's a missile.
I mean, well, it's deflect missiles technically.
You'd have
So
to
I
reduce
suppose
the damage to 0.
well to catch it, yes. Oh, it's if it's small enough to hold in one hand, I can catch it, but I can still reduce the damage. Like I could basically like dodge out of the way and like push it to the side. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna spend my key point. I want to see if that works, if that ends up happening, because I'm gonna reduce a minimum of 10 points of damage minimum. So
As
Let's see how
Cloud
that
moves
works.
forward, Bell just
Just-
leans down off his horse towards the villain. He does know he's running the wrong way.
I thought we were leaving.
It would seem so, yes.
and I'm like trying to I'm like kind of staff is in one hand, but I'm kind of like raising my hands to my side, kind of in a non-threatening gesture, kind of like a trying to like kind of get their attention.
Okay. Yes, you are waving your hands.
Not waving, just like kind of like hands at about like shoulder height out in front of me. Like it would be like palms, like one palm forward, and the other one I'm just like gripping my staff loosely.
Okay.
Just not making an overtly threatening gesture towards them.
Okay. Okay. Now I get. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, that took me 2 seconds there.
it's okay.
Okay. And so, action that's movement, and any standard action.
Nope. Just no, not really.
Okay.
Well, actually, hold on. You can take dodge as a standard action. So yeah, I don't need to spend a key point.
Okay.
I'll just be dodging as my normal action. So I'm like, why would I spend a key point for that? I can do that as a full action if I don't do anything else.
All right.
And if I should be able to dodge, and if it does come close to hitting, then I can deflect.
So, as you're holding up your hands, starting to move around a little bit, this guy looks like he's got his hands out. Well, let's just let's throw him something to catch then. It is at range, so it will be at disadvantage. 18.
18 would be a hit, even at disadvantage. All right. How about 12 of that gets deflected?
All right. So he throws the rock, really not expecting you to catch it at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's actually really surprising. He looks shocked, and he kind of
Yeah.
points and says, "Arr," and shakes his head.
Yeah, I managed to mostly dodge, twist my body out of the way and kind of throw an arm to kind of shunt it to the side and splash it into the river, but it kind of crunks my arm a little bit in the process.
Oh, it gotcha. So seeing you kind of shrug off most of that, so it's kind of hard to see. It's gonna throw at Felon, because at this range you guys basically look the same.
That's racist, dude.
Super duper.
Or hill giants have terrible eyesight.
I mean, that's probably true too.
Oh, okay, disadvantage. Okay, thank goodness.
Disadvantage.
Thank goodness. Yeah, no way.
Wow.
Thank
And
goodness.
Felon drops.
Can you roll that damage for me just to see? Just a little. Oh yeah. I'm very glad that was- Ouch. That would hurt.
Whew.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so he's throwing and he's trying to accommodate his buddy threw at 7, and he overcompensates and falls a little short. Bryce says as a rock falls in front of you, What do you do?
Is going to quickly throw a shield of faith up at Cloud. Just be like, Cloud, get back here, and maybe just like grab Felon's arm and try to move back and away, because she doesn't really want to fight giants. Who wants to fight giants? Cloud, you're an idiot. Get back here. So that is her turn for now. Pulling
Pretty sure-
Felon.
So as Briseis kind of motions in a protective way towards Cloud Felon.
Sounds like, yeah, we should probably get going, Cloud. This seems like not something we should be dealing with. He's sort of backing off a little bit. And I'm going to take... we do have the horses, right?
Quote unquote horses.
Yeah, you notice I went horses,
That would
and you
depend
can
on
hear
how
my...
kind the DM is. It takes Dwell 10 minutes to summon each horse. About how many minutes passed, would you say, DMs?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, were you casting it right when you got there, or were you kind of murmuring about it? Because you had been talking about it for a while.
Oh, he started casting it once we heard the grumbling, and Cloud was like, "Oh, I'd like to go investigate." He's like, "I'm gonna start bringing some horses in here."
All right. I was gonna say at least one. I'll give you two of your creatures, but you have to describe if they look different, what they look like.
Oh, of course, the one summoned for Briseis has wooden hooves, and the one summoned for Felon has great long pointy ears and looks emaciated, and a big tongue hanging out.
Let's get more and more terrifying.
Gross.
These poor horses, these poor creatures.
They are quasi-real horse-like, not horses. I would never do that to a horse and let someone know. However, Dwale looks over at the hill giants, sizes them up, and gives them something to distract them, which would be a fireball with a boost. And I believe centered it there. Tag them both. Cloud, duck.
I mean, sure. Oh Lord.
All right, well, never mind that.
And then he will boost that with a first level spell for an additional 2d10 force damage.
Is that against one of them?
Both of them.
Will that hit both of them?
Yes. 20-foot radius. They're less than 40 feet apart. Ah, those fiendish.
Oh,
little
okay. I wasn't thinking of their entire. I was like clicking on a different part of the square. But yeah, that's fair. If we go from like.
And then Dwale says, "Gee up," and his horse-like quasi-real creature dashes and has 200 foot of speed. So he sort of leans back into his reclining chair, hair blowing in the wind, looking quite majestic as he gets the heck out of Dodge.
How far was that movement?
200. It's 100 normally, dashed to 200. They're really fast for some reason. What did I do?
So as Dwale exits the battlefield,
That's them.
Cloud.
Kind of Seeing that everybody else is bailing out, I kind of sigh and shake my head and give them a little salute and a wave. Next time, and I'll kick in the speed boost and join the group, I guess. Well, I guess I don't really need to kick in the speed boost. Just a regular double move will take me off the map. So.
Is that the right one? That better be the right one. It's not. We'll do them backwards. Briseis, you're the only person standing anywhere near anything, as Doyle has moved 200 feet. So there's going to be a giant rock thrown at you.
Nope.
And that will be a disadvantage. And another one at you.
That one will hit. Wait, hold on. I think I could do a thing with my shield. No. I think it's only if I can. Subject to effect allows you to make a dexterity. Yeah, you don't dex out of the way of these, right?
No, these are just attack rolls.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Briseis, can you roll a athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer? Okay. So
She is not spilling coral. Nope.
yeah, no, not at all. Sloshing a little, but coral's staying in there.
Ow! And she's and she is going to climb onto the freaky horse thing and go.
Comfortable, aren't they?
I
Okay.
think my tail is broken.
I'll put a hole through the next one for your tail.
Don't
Yeah.
you dare.
Yeah, Felon is going to yell out "Hi ho, Silver!" and jump on the horse and ride off.
Its ears have to be like floppying around.
It's kind of like Odie from Garfield with the tongue
Ugh.
wagging
Yeah.
the ears.
It's like an emaciated Odie, except the ears are pointed on the ends.
Ugh. All right, so you guys hightail it out of there, and try as they might, with that many legs aiding you, I don't think the giants are going to be able to keep up.
It's game
Did you
over,
want to
man.
kill them?
No.
No. Okay.
And as you guys run the opposite direction, might I propose a quick, legit 5-minute break? Since,
Legit 5-minute break sounds good.
legit 5.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
No sense of adventure.
If you want, we can kill them.
That silence is Yeah, I didn't think anybody would want to fight hill giants. Kind of a no, we're just gonna leave type of thing.
Nah, we can get him.
I mean, they did 29 damage to Briseis with one attack.
Look, this is the first chance we've had for a proper battle. We have the mobility.
Back, sorry.
Cut them apart and kill them without taking damage. None of this mucking about in caves. None of this getting hit. Nonsense.
What'd I miss?
Oh no,
Just complaining.
Dwell bitching.
Dwelling.
Wailing. I really liked that very first like kobold little cavern where it's all dirty and shit. That was the best time.
I had a pretty good time.
this is not how warfare should be conducted. There should be some chilled wine, a bunch of peasants dying, and then the leaders decide whose side won.
After the flags are awarded.
Well, of course. We all go home heroes except for those who are dead.
Right. Right.
All right, so I think I heard everybody's back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys quickly run in the opposite direction past the path clearly leading towards the tower and back down through Pinemoor. I'm guessing in a bit of a hurry. Do you guys stop and say anything to Gare and Redo before just continuing down
Run,
the trail?
run. Run. I mean,
Yeah.
Briseis probably, like, her other horn is probably cracked or something with that kind of hit to the entire body.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Felon, you come on your, lengthy, floppy, emaciated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Briseis, you're sloshing around, and you're clearly injured and uncomfortable to be riding what you are. Dwayne, you're probably pretty happy. Everybody's taking advantage of your... It's finally starting to look like the group you always planned.
No,
Cloud.
next time.
Writing phantasmal monstrosities.
No, next time, if you accept my offer earlier, you can have some input into what your mount might look like.
Could design your own monster. Cloud, you have no trouble keeping up, and
Yeah,
you're riding right along stride with all the other legs.
yeah, I can hoof it. It's not a problem.
Redo and Gare were already kind of packing up some stuff anyway, and they see you guys storm past, and they look back towards what's going on, and they both look at each other, and they just start running right back after you, and
Okay.
they grab a couple of things, and that's it.
No big deal, just a couple of hill giants.
They run a little faster.
We should probably tell the family.
I haven't seen them all morning. Maybe they already left. I'm sure they already left. As
Like,
Redo's running after you guys.
are they still pursuing us? Like, I feel like we would have left them in the dust by now.
Knowing what you know about giants, you think that you did leave them in the dust.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Better safe than
you didn't
sorry.
see Briseis get hurt, and now she's like just looking horrible on her horse thing, and you don't want to take any chances.
All right. Felon would say, "Go on ahead. I'll tell the family," and would run over on his
Just like-
monstrosity.
Knock on the door real quick and
Yeah.
like giants later.
And he's just like gonna frantically pound on the door and say, "Hey, there's giants here. You should really leave."
You knock on the door and do that, and you hear a crash of something, and then okay, thanks.
Can I see what's going on inside the house as they open the door?
No, even though all the other houses have been looted and you can see through the windows, this one they You're not sure if they put them up when they got back or whatever, but every window is covered.
Huh. Don't like that. Felon would say, are you coming?
Yeah, we'll be right there. Yeah.
Do you require help? Is everything all right?
Are all of you stopping to kind of help the family out? Or is it just
We don't
Cloud
want
and
him
Felon?
We don't want him to die. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
suppose
see-
I'm at least partially responsible for aggroing these things, so
Yes.
air quotes around partially.
you didn't cast the fireball, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I was gonna say.
That's true.
If you would like, I will go back and kill them. It's no trouble.
Oh, solo? Can you do that? That would be fascinating. I would love to. I'll make sure the song about it is glorious.
We'll sit back and sip the wine, and then the
Yeah.
peasant will die.
What would you like to leave me a full list of your titles for your eulogy? I don't want to mess anything up.
A song, you say?
Oh shit.
No, really, there's giants. You should go. Felon is like, come on, people. We ain't got all day.
Okay, we're coming, and you hear the door open, and kind of you see the family come out, and as they come out, they're each carrying under each arm a giant duffel bag, and they've got giant backpacks, and the large male is carrying like a makeshift kind of wheelie device holding 3 crates on it behind him. Okay, we're ready. Let's head out.
What is so important that you needed so much of it?
Our life. We're not gonna leave anything behind.
Is he telling me the truth? I don't know that's I don't. So they're personal possessions, or are these
Yes,
like
they are
business
personal possessions.
possessions?
They are those things that you just said. You can
Felon does
roll
not
insight if
believe.
you'd like.
Yeah, felon does not believe this man for a second.
You believe that they are indeed personal possessions, but you think maybe not just his personal possessions.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess they're dead. So, Felon's gonna drop it for now and sort of push him out of town.
And they start kind of trotting behind you. And they're not quite running at the same pace as you are because they don't want to sacrifice their stuff, but they're following.
All right. Good enough for me.
All right, so you guys, kind of keep up your pace. You don't hear anything behind you. You're guessing that, the giants aren't too terribly smart. They probably lost interest after a little while once they couldn't see the food anymore.
All right.
You guys head back towards Baldur's Gate with a extra family in tow. And the 2 guys you were sent there with, which is a plus. You brought back Redo and Gare. You guys head into Baldur's Gate. And it's about early afternoon as you guys stroll through the gates of Baldur's Gate. And where are you headed?
Well, what do you guys think?
Oh, I think the Iron Fist first.
Yeah. You mean the Flaming Fist?
Flaming first, yes.
I would agree.
As you both are pondering things on your giant horse-like creatures, you get a few stares as you're walking those through the gates.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about that ridiculous rule they have about horses. And Dwell dismounts and his horse vanishes.
Oh, good. We can get rid of them. The Felon would jump off.
Briseis will slowly glide off the thing. The creature. And be careful that Coral's okay. Sort of limp along for now. Ow.
Yeah, Coral feels a little sloshed, a little turned around, but she can tell that you're moving a little slower than normal, so she's, just trying to say some reassuring words, but all it sounds like is safe, safe, safe.
We're safe. It's okay. We're safe now.
All right, so Redo and Gare are all about that heading to the Flaming Fist. They have a lot to tell. They're pretty happy that they made it, and Redo is really excited because he's starting to learn how to read and make lists. He can be of use elsewhere and not have to fight undead all the time. Maybe.
Move it up in the world, Redo. But yeah. I wonder if the leader of the Iron Throne wears spiky armor.
Well, I would think that would stand out a bit.
Hmm.
Redo, Gare, do you happen to have a description of
Didn't they call him the Wall or something?
Yes, thank you.
George.
I don't think his name was George.
His name was George. It's legit. His name was George. I wrote it down.
Yeah, he hates that one, but yeah, you can call him that.
Yes, well, aside from his name, does he happen to prefer spikes on his armor?
Not that I've seen. He's not really a fighter anymore, so much as a sit in his high office and make rules, or, well, I don't know. Everybody fears him, but I don't see what they're so afraid of.
So you said we should go talk to him.
I mean, sure. You have business with him?
Well, I mean, he did send his lackeys to bring us to speak with him.
Felon, oversharing.
Oh, he wants a meeting with you. Oh. Yeah, you should probably go do that, eventually. He's not one you want to keep waiting. He doesn't like that.
Interesting. We've kept him waiting for several days at this point. But that's fine with me. He did try to kill us.
I'm sure he'll keep.
Yeah, he's not really a nice guy either way, so, I mean, you do what you want.
But before then, let's go and visit Surge.
Yeah, you got it. Let's go in. They'll be happy to hear from us. We took care of the problem.
You did, we did, and I believe there was some bounty involved in that.
I believe there was.
Yeah, something like that. He's just used to getting, whatever garbage daily hourly rate they get. So he's not sure what reward you're talking about, but he's like, yeah, totally. And then, we'll be heroes. And so he walks towards the Flaming Fist, and they immediately see some of their buddies off to the corner and start talking about it. And they point you inside. They're like, door's open. He's always got his door open. If you want to go talk to him, he's in there.
Dwell looks after the pair. He's like, and they were showing so much promise with the looting, but heroes. Ugh.
Look.
You guys walk in, and Captain Sir just kind of talking in the middle of the main room, just kind of ushering people back and forth. And he turns towards the doorway and sees you guys walk through, and he walks up to you. You made it back. It's good to see. Yeah, you don't look so good. And he kind of turns towards Briseis and sees her not only looking worn down, but also carrying a large box and like basically looking like a pack mule that's been run over by a pack mule. And it's just like, what
She's
the
probably
hell happened to you?
heavily bruised in a rock-shaped formation somewhere. But just a,
Captain, I will caution you, from experience within the last day or so, criticizing her on either her looks or her weight may be unwise.
Well, I wasn't about to criticize her. I was about to criticize all of you. Taking care of a lady like this. Come on. I got a nice comfy chair in my office. You guys can come sit down, tell me all about it. You can take my chair. And he kind of rolls his, fancy, slightly chair with a little padded cushion on the bottom out towards you. As he gestures you guys into the office that you've been in so many times.
she's just gonna stick her tongue at it, Doyle, and limp over and sit down.
What? I was warning him not to.
All right, so what's going on? What'd you guys find out there?
Well, there were orcs there. We dealt with them. But we might have a larger problem. Because it seems like the orcs were coming back from the dead, which was
Really quickly.
troubling. Yeah, really fast. And it seems like they knew about it. Like, it seems like they were aware of it. They weren't controlling it, but it seemed like they were trying to, like they were burning the bodies of the villagers they'd killed, almost like they were trying to stop it themselves. So I'm not sure that the orcs are, like, directly involved, but they seem to be aware of it. But as soon as we'd kill one, unless we killed it, like, with fire or something like that, it would come back as a zombie, which was less than cool. We also found out that the tower down there is the old wizard's tower. Still has stuff in it, and it seems like someone from Baldur's Gate took something pretty powerful from it, and that might be connected in some way. We're not really sure.
Wait, you got into Thalinger's tower?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard. You gave us a couple riddles, but
What did you see in there?
I mean, it was pretty cool. It was like all on the inside, it was like still all built, and there's like an extra dimensional space, and there were armor that attacked us. Dwayne almost got smothered by a carpet. I got thrown through a glass case.
Oh, that sounds so cool. I've been wanting to go in there since I was a little kid. I'm so jealous. That's so cool.
Well,
So wait, did you see it? Did you see this? Did you see the staff in there?
No.
I bet him there wasn't in there anymore. I knew somebody grabbed that.
Right.
Years and years ago.
Do you know what the staff was supposed to do?
I just knew it was special and everybody wanted it. I don't know. There were rumors. Who knows if there's any truth to them, but that was a powerful wizard that found here.
Well, what are the rumors? So we at least have something to go on.
Well, when I was real little, I heard that it could shoot fire out the tip, and then it was a sharp blade on the other side. And then they told me that wasn't true anymore, and then they said that if you twirl it around real fast, that it can teleport you anywhere you want to go as long as you already been there. And the other one said that it could beat up any of your bullies. If anybody was mean to you, it would seek them out, kind of like a hitman for you. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, there was the one where you could cast that spell that puts fire in a big circle. I don't know if there's any truth to that one, though. You know how magic. I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to any of them, but I know that people have been trying to get in there for years. You guys got in there first try. Good on you. Looks like you guys are a little worse for wear, though, and he kind of looks down at Briseis. and kind of takes a seat on the edge of his desk.
That was a hill giant.
Hill giant.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
hill giants. Yeah.
You guys have been busy. All right, so you see
We didn't want to make all the way to lunch without an adventure.
Yeah, I guess so. God. Well, at least you brought my men back this time. That's fine.
Yeah. Captain Surge, we had a question for you. We keep seeing and hearing about this person wearing armor with spikes on it, and we think they're connected to someone in Baldur's Gate. Do you ever see anyone wandering around with spiky armor? Ever? Ring a bell to you?
Spiky armor.
Yeah, like armor with spikes on it.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
All right. And if I was to say to you that there's a specific person in Baldur's Gate who keeps everything turning, keeps everything moving, who would you say that was? Who comes to mind?
Well, God, who's in charge now? Changes so often, it's hard to keep track of these people. Well, who pays our bills? I mean, the upper class that I never see. Any one of those could be a wheel turner, I guess. I mean, you've got the cart drivers. I guess those are technically wheel turners if you're going real basic with it. I don't know. I was never real good at riddles. That's why I couldn't get into that place.
All right. Got it.
Why do you ask? That's a weird question.
No, just something a skull said to me. But I don't know. I don't have any other. I don't know what else we can gain at the moment.
You guys didn't get any clues or anything off of them? No idea where they came from, where this undead is coming from? You guys were sent there as a scouting mission, and I appreciate you taking care of the problem, don't get me wrong. But we kind of have no leads now.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Right.
We still have the place of senseless murder to pursue, which was where we believed the orcs to be holed up. Now that we've taken care of the lead that you had provided, and we've heard some rumor that this is due to an imbalance between the forces of good and evil. It's a bit ridiculous, but
I think it has something to do with whoever stole that staff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I think they're in Baldur's Gate, or at least they're connected to Baldur's Gate in a pretty substantial way.
You think somebody got in there and is hiding out in Baldur's Gate with that staff?
I know for a fact someone got in there and made off with the staff. It's a hunch that they're still in Baldur's Gate.
Huh. I mean, I would think that kind of magic would... I mean, whatever that staff did, it was magic, clearly. And I would think that would give off some kind of something. I mean, can't you magic folk sense that kind of thing?
Oh, Surge, look at you. Isn't that... Oh, Surge, that's a good idea.
Won't meet a captain for nothing.
That's not a bad idea, Surge. Something like that's going to give off some serious auras. We might be able to do like a triangulation. Like we take readings at different points, so we might be able, if depending on how much magic it gives off, depending on where it's strongest, we might be able to figure out where it is. It's not a bad idea.
I have a compass. You want one of those? Is that like, it twirls around and tells you where to go? Would that work? I think I got one in here. And he starts rummaging through his desk drawer.
You know what, Serge? That would help. That would help.
Is there a way to enchant something like that to make it find magic?
Oh, yes, there is, but that would take quite a bit of time.
No, the compass will help, everyone. The compass will definitely help.
Yeah, he is excited that something that he has will help, and he hands it over. I don't know much about magic, but if you tell me this will help, all the help we can get. You guys, you said you're going to go investigate that orc battle site?
There was another town that was mentioned.
Yes.
Baragoth?
Baragast, I think, was where the undead were first spotted, if I recall correctly, and so that's certainly worth our time. And on the way, we could pick up my outfit.
Right. Yes, the outfit. That's very important.
Well, to me.
Well, I mean, we haven't gotten tale of anything going on down there, so I can't really spare any men if you head down that way.
That's all right. Well, we can handle ourselves.
If you send word, you need help. I'll send what I can. But
Well, actually, Serge, we might be able to help you help us in that. I believe there were some bounties regarding the orcs and that sort of thing. Having limited them, I would think we qualify. And then, with our newfound wealth, what is the going rate for hiring your services?
hiring our services like escorts?
Yes.
I guess it depends on how many you want. I mean, we are strapped kind of thin right now. But to answer your earlier question, yes, here's your bounty for the work that you already did. And he hands you the equivalent of a sack with 450 gold pieces in it.
Excellent.
Oh, fantastic.
And now we can reinvest a portion of that. Rather than stretch your resources thin, perhaps we could hire some of your men, providing a little more gold for you. But we'll sort that out once we've decided where we're going. And of course, if your men are unavailable, I'm sure there's someone in this town who can accept gold for for a little bit of swordsmanship.
No. I mean, that's who you're looking for. I could spare upwards of two guys, maybe about, I'd say 15 gold a day. They come with their own armor. I'll send them with their own food.
What about their own weapons?
Oh yeah, those two. But that brings up a good topic. I'm running out of weapons that actually work. That information that we were all holding on to, I know I was kind of trying to be nice and wait on the conversation, let you guys choose Merchant League, Iron Throne, whoever you want to tell first, but we can't really wait on that anymore. My men need weapons that work and armor that protects them. So we're going to need to have that conversation, very soon. Within the day, kind of soon.
We've made a few contacts in town. Let me reestablish our acquaintances with them, and then I think we can at least provide you with some iron. Or the means to buy iron, I should say.
Yeah, well, whatever gets them weapons made, it's got to be given to one of those two. And you know how the rumors start around here. They know something's going on with the iron, and I ain't going to be able to keep it secret much longer, me or my men. So whichever one you choose of those two gets it first, and within the hour or two, the other one will have it. So it won't really matter, I guess. But you make that choice and you let me know, because either way, if I don't hear from you by sundown, I'm just gonna pick one and go talk to him.
Understood. Of the two, I would think Merchants League is the ones that haven't sent idiots after us.
True. Yeah, they didn't try to kill us. So
That's always a bonus.
Speaking of which, have you seen that, what was his name? Brannigan, something. The fellow from the bar when we first arrived.
Oh, Branford?
Branford.
Yeah, he's over at the Merchants League. Yeah, he
low to him.
He does a lot of the face-to-face stuff over there. The leadership's kind of been changing over there recently, and what with the father being all sick now, it's just what happens. But he's a good guy. You should talk to him. If you end up going Merchant League, I mean, not that I'm suggesting either or, but if you go to the Merchant League, I feel like you'll be better received. Branford's a good guy. You tell him Serge sent you over to talk to him, and He'll set you straight.
I do like working with good folk.
They take less of the cut.
Kyle says the thought everyone is thinking in this moment. All right. Well, I guess we should go try to get some stuff done today.
I do need some inks and some incense and other things, and then we can have Briseis and her new friend conversing happily. Or whatever.
New friend?
Strays, we pick them up.
The Briseis will motion for him to come and look in the.
Strays, we pick them up.
Serge just looks back and forth between Dwayne and Briseis, who almost sounds like sleepy drugged and looks very hurt. He's gonna, offer her something to drink and say, What were you saying, dear?
She'll just say, kind of look down at the chest and just be like, "Come say hi, Coral."
Oh.
All right, hearing your voice, directed down towards the box, Coral just kind of creak open the lid just a little bit and kind of splash some water out on the floor. And Serge will just kind of jump back. And Coral will open up the lid and kind of look up at Briseis and then towards Serge, tilt her head, and just kind of gurgle and kind of splash water on Briseis' hoof. Nice warm water though. Feels kind of good.
This is Serge. He's a friend.
Safe.
Yes, safe.
She spits a little water at him.
That's how she says hi.
He just kind of stands up, straightens up, and just, wipes the water down. It kind of looks confused, and is just like, so you've got what is that? Is that alive?
She seems very alive. She's very kind.
Is that a pet? What's its name?
Her name is Coral. I'm hoping to find out where she came from so I could send her home. I'd rather her not be stuck in a box for the rest of her life.
Well, she's very cute, I'll tell you that. You got a cute pet there. I don't know anything about that, though. I mean, there's lots of water down at the docks, I guess, if you want to. I don't know if that'll help you at all, but
I think that might scare some people that don't understand.
yeah, I would get that if it wasn't you delivering it right now. I might just shut that door. All right, well, best of luck with you and your little pet. And he kind of kneels down and goes to pet it, but his hand just goes right through the water, and he just kind of wipes it off on his clothes. All right, well, you guys, I'll be in touch in a little while. If you want to hit up the Merchant League, just send word that you're going there, and I'll stop by myself.
All right. See you, Serge.
Kind of looks over at Dwayne and is just like, see, just need to have a little faith.
I have no need of faith.
Alrighty. So what do you guys want to do with your last little bit as you leave the Flaming Fist? It is about late afternoon, early evening as you head out. Sun's still up.
Briseis needs to rest. She might just
No, go ahead.
So she might just head back to the inn for now. She's not looking for anything in particular.
Yeah, you guys could have also taken a short rest while you were traveling, because you guys were, riding in style and whatnot, thanks to Doyle.
Well, I need a bit of ink. I need a bit of incense, some herbs. Take a quick tour of the. What was that bookstore? Oh, it was Sean's Scrolls. Sean's Scrolls. Yes, I think I'll pay him another visit.
Find a book on whatever language water elementals speak. I think it's like Aquan or something. I don't remember. It's been a while.
If you like. Wait a moment. Didn't you say you could learn anything for a short time?
Well, yes. Out of character. It says skills and tools. I don't know if the GM would allow me to learn languages for a little bit. That's up to GM discretion.
Is a language considered a skill?
Don't know.
Because
It's like a
I
proficiency.
remember in 3.5 you had like skill points where you could put one into learning another language. Like, is there a way to do that?
No, not in 5e.
So you're stuck with whatever languages you have. Like you can't.
I guess by default, yeah.
I would assume it falls under the 250 gold and 250 days rule, but I don't know that one for sure. But in any case, Dwell's going shopping.
Yeah, I would definitely rule on the side of languages for 10 minutes. Okay, with a channel divinity knowledge.
Cool, excellent. So yeah, I could learn it for like 10 minutes. I asked.
And you could have done this the whole time.
Well, I kind of forgot about it, and we were doing more important things.
Like Dwayne being an interpreter.
Besides, I need them for the moment. I'll talk to Coral when I get home from my triangulation.
As you like. By tomorrow morning, I think I should have this scroll transcribed in a way that I can use it.
Excellent.
Don't know what sort of notes this fool was using. Look at this. Is that an E or a 3? Or is A's upside down? I don't know.
Dwayne, I think this is a personal journey you need to go on. I can't help you with this. I won't always be around, Dwayne.
You're Elven.
Well, I mean, I'll always be around from your perspective, but I'm just saying I won't always physically be around to decipher scrolls for you. So you have to, figure it out on your own. Consider it a teachable moment, Dwayne.
I suppose.
All right, so Dwayne, you said you were definitely going back to Sean's Scrolls and Scraps.
Going back to Sean's Scrolls and Scraps.
All right, was there, you had put in a standing, hey, look out for this order for 3rd level spells. Was there anything in particular that you were looking for, or just you wanted him to keep an eye out? Because my notes are not
It was more just keep an eye out for things of a higher than normal level, or anything of interest. Just sort of perusing his inventory. But more specifically, looking for the inks and effects needed to transcribe the scrolls found, which is going to run some number of gold that I haven't calculated yet.
It's my favorite amount of gold.
It is 50 gold pieces for level 3rd level spell, 150 gold pieces. Give me 150 gold pieces of your finest ink.
Yeah, you got it. But I'm all out of black right now, so all I got is this
That's
blue.
all right. I only ink in red.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that works. I got plenty of that too. It's Definitely not blood. So here you go. Lots of yep. Well, I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's whatever you want it to be, Mr. Dwale. Anyway, I got those. I got some interesting spells for you, but they're all the way in the back, so I'm gonna have to go get them. It's gonna take me about 7 days or so.
We'll figure it out at that point.
Maybe sooner. There's no promises. The mail these days.
Understandable. In the meantime, I do need a little herb and incense, and that should be it for now.
Herb and incense. Yeah, I got what you need. Wink.
Wink. And how was your hat stock refreshed?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked. You know what? Ever since you bought that hat, I don't know. Have you been wearing it around town or something? Because my hat sales, they have gone through the roof.
Excellent. It's probably the lucky book in your window.
It really is. I love that book so much. You know where I can get some more copies? Because I've had some people interested.
Let me speak with the author.
Oh, does he do book sign-ins? They'd love that. That's the biggest thing around here. If he can sign a copy and give it to me, I'll let you pick from my new hats. I haven't even put them out yet.
Heard he does book signings, but that seems, I think, like a dream to him. We'll sort that bit out.
Just like a dream.
Just like a dream. Let's see here. I can't do that one. Can't do that one. I think I can do that one.
Now, what is Felon's triangulating sounding and looking like? Did you follow Dwale out? Bryceus, I think you went back for a nap or something, right?
Yeah, she's just gonna relax for a bit.
You and Coral, you guys are hanging out.
Felon is... Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that she'll just keep talking to her, and she's used to sort of talking to herself. So, but now she's actually having someone to talk to, so it doesn't bother her that she's the only one talking.
Yeah, and this is one of the best naps you've ever had, because as you're kind of whispering, down to Coral, Coral's making this just soothing, gurgly water sound, and you think you're onto something here because it really lulls you to sleep.
And then she drowns you.
Dwale's always looking for the long con. Felon, did you follow Dwale out to the shops, or are you finding a nice tree? I hear that's popular to hang out
Felon is basically, he followed, he just went, he's going around town, and he's got a blank piece of paper with a very crude map of Baldur's Gate on it. And he's going to mark down locations where he senses magical auras and try to pick up on the aura of the staff and see if he can detect any patterns or anything around town. Just sort of, and then he's basically going to construct a heat map, and where the magical auras are the most is where he's going to narrow in his search pattern. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Writing on notes, make giant map for Felon of all magic.
You don't need to do that. That's just the way Felon is doing it. And he's gonna if he wanders by a magical item shop, obviously he's can't use that. That's useless. He's going about it like a good scientist.
Did you put on your lab coat too?
I have my body smock, but that's kind of my only thing I've got. And I'm not wearing that in Baldur's Gate. People get upset when you wear body parts.
I hear it helps if you wear a thinking cap too. Pretty sure.
No, it definitely does not help.
Now stock those. Now in thinking caps. All right, so the shopping will happen, the triangulation will happen, and I will spread those good informations over the course of the week, and we will pick up next. I kind of do want to make a map, though. There's lots of stuff in Baldur's Gate that's fun.
If you want to make a map, go for it. That's just you can just give me the information. That's just how Felon is going about it.
Anything to distract from the actual plot.
Not
Like-
that bad.
Yeah, I
though-
think that I Felon thinks that the staff is the plot. So that's why he's doing it.
Staff is all things
I
and
do-
nothing.
And before the evening sets in and Surge loses his marbles, we will be paying call on the Merchants League, but I don't think we have quite the time for that in the 2.5 minutes remaining.
They're happy. They thank you. Goodbye. Yeah, no, we don't have time for that. But noted. Yeah, he was pretty desperate and hinting that he was just going to go without you if you guys had other stuff to do. So
Yep.
we will pick up with the information recap of what I give you over the course of the week, and then we'll pick up at the Merchant League when you guys come back. And Rob had to go, so hopefully he will have watched this. Hi, Rob. Ready before next week.
Yeah. Now, out of curiosity, fellas, is there a question that's floating out there that wasn't one of the 5 for the skull? Maybe one for Sin and then for Kyle?
You're really jumping on the gun on these ones, huh? I think you gotta let the session end. You gotta let it breathe a little bit, let everyone sort of reflect upon the night, and then you go, "Hey, Sin."
Yes, Sean.
Sin, did we maybe perhaps gain enough experience to maybe level up?
Well, you only ended up about a total
Uh-huh.
a half of one giant away from the
Uh-huh.
XP required to level.
Right, but Dwayne killed 2 halves of 2 giants. So
Exactly. So you only had one real one left to finish. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're still there. You want to go back?
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, Sean.
Hey, Kyle. Did we maybe perhaps level?
Well, seeing as there was commenting on combat, I will say, so you managed to receive 4 cryptic answers from a dead body, and
We did, yeah, that's true.
successfully
Yeah.
decipher none of them. I'm not.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about none. None feels mean.
All right, none is kind of mean.
Maybe a little bit of some. We're on the trail, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You're on the trail, and then you guys freed. No, not really freed. You moved a water elemental.
We did, hey, she's more free than she was
safely.
before.
Wait, hang on.
Yep, I agree.
Wait, moved? We didn't move. We obtained. We now have a new servant. What's this moved?
That's a
Freed.
little. I don't like the slavery connotations that has, but
You might not like it, but it's accurate.
It is not.
I mean, I don't want her to hold my papers. That's for sure. So, Kyle, what I'm hearing is there's a chance.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a damper on that right now. Although honestly, the closest that it's come to was that moment right there where you guys had the most in-character parts of arguments about slavery and not slavery and anger, and it was legit. But
Yeah.
I'm
You haven't even
terrified of 7. Let's be honest.
What happens at level 7? I don't remember. Is it 4th level spells?
4th level spells.
Oh yeah, it is 4th level spells. That's pretty good.
you haven't even used your level 6 stuff yet.
I haven't had a chance. We've been fighting zombies. I don't want to talk to a zombie's brain.
I don't think there's much in there.
See, you should have let me kite the hill giants to death. Though I personally feel that's kind of cheap combat, but I think it works.
I need to start the clerics in my game cast sending to talk to literally everyone. I need to start sending sendings to just people, just in the middle of game, just to ask them questions. I think that's important. I'm gonna put that on my prepared spells.
Just start referencing the folks back in Candlekeep. Hey, could you go
Mhm.
look this up for me?
Or maybe we could talk to Lord Aiden or his servants. What's the girl's name?
So quickly you forget.
I
You guys
remember
were
the
so close.
character. I just don't remember her name. I'm bad with
You
names.
think Rebecca's forgotten about you?
Rebecca. That's who it was. That's who it was. Rebecca.
I mean, you were dreaming about her, maybe.
A little bit. That dream wasn't real, though.
Sure, it wasn't.
The dream was a prophetic warning that anytime we try and help little girls, we're going to get hurt.
Yet you go chasing out
That's
little
exactly-
children in the
that's what-
forest.
It's like, this is such a bad idea. We just got out of a dream where we died because we did this exact thing.
Yeah, but you want us to take the hints and learn from our mistakes?
No.
No.
Who
does that?
I did. Now that you mention it, there are some odd parallels there, aren't there?
What's that? Between the
That
dream and the
go-
sequence?
Going towards the woods and then finding a ruined tower and then there being important things there.
I'm telling you, how many coincidences before you just accept that it was prophetic? I mean,
Well, we didn't fight like a weird illusion creepy monster there. So,
we didn't.
no, we didn't.
In a tower that is almost completely constructed of illusion, we fought
We fought armor and we fought carpets.
and carpets.
None of
And
which are as scary as the thing in the dream.
You weren't in the carpet. That carpet was terrifying.
All right, well,
It was dusty and dirty and all over my face. Ugh.
People walked on that too.
Oh. Briseis walked on that. Oh. Surprised that carpet could move after that.
Yeah, she did walk on that right after and before saving your life. Multiple times.
Yes, well. She does have some redeeming qualities. Saving my life being a few of them.
Because everyone deserves to live.
I will tell you, saving Coral definitely got you guys a lot of XP towards 7. Just not quite enough.
I'm glad I now know that I can use my thing to acquire knowledge skills. That's good. Or not knowledge, languages for 10 minutes. That's
Do these teach Coral their names?
And I bet Coral will have someone to like actually talk with. Should be pleased about that.
Find out where she comes from.
Actually, I'm pretty sure if I cast tongues on Coral, she can talk to all of us and we can talk to her.
Also true.
That would be much easier.
That would be.
I swear not everybody's as dumb, but like simple ways of communicating.
One bubble for yes, 2 bubbles for no.
There's in my Out of the Abyss game, there's a Modron that they found, and they keep trying to ask it like questions, like its opinions on things and stuff. I have to catch you tell like they don't have opinions. That's not how this works. They don't have independent or creative thought. Like you can't just do that. But they're very dead set on this thing becoming their new best friend. It's like they don't have friends.
Wait, what are you referring to?
Modrons which are like
Modron.
clockwork beings. Modrons.
There was that one from Torment that had thoughts.
They're like clockwork beings of pure law, and they're like machine people.
Yeah, I was considering putting those in that tower fight, and I looked at him and I was like, "That's fucking retarded."
Yeah, well, they're looking for like there's like an thing called the Maze Engine, which is like an orderer that could like do lots of world-ending things if they got it. So they're trying to find. But
Just make it like the Terminator. Enough exposure to humans, and eventually he grows a heart and then gets sacrificed.
I just want you to know that you just compared. There's a picture of it that's very disturbing. It makes me very uncomfortable. They have weird lips that I don't like. Here we go.
All right, now you win the
What?
Google search.
No, it's like here. I'll put it in.
Modrons are just weird.
They are just weird in general. Here, I'll put it in general so everyone can see it. That guy, the second, there's like the top left one, that's the circle, and then the guy to the right of him, his lips make me feel uncomfortable a little bit. I just don't like them. And then the shield one, like the triangle one with the 3 arms and stuff. I don't like that either.
Oh, Pyramid Head.
They're just weird. Yeah, pyramid. Yeah, it's Pyramid Head. Like he's gonna punish you for your sins. Yeah, it's just.
But it's got the legs of the beast that Dwayne creates.
That's true. I was gonna say that is a very effective method of locomotion. Are they supposed to be partially organic?
No, not
I
that I'm
always thought they
aware
were
of.
just like a mechanical thingy.
I'm just looking at the pictures. There's a lot of like soft lines I wouldn't expect in a pure
Right.
mechanical thing.
It's kind of unclear. I thought that they were purely mechanical, and that they sort of implied that they are, but
Interesting. Those are not a monster I've met before.
yeah, they're weird.
I only know them because of Torment from the 90s.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? Nordrum? Something like that?
Nordom.
Mm.
And a rogue Modron named Nordom, which is Modron backwards.
Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Felon's rubbing off. Always trying to read things backwards. See what happens.
I'm just so tickled that Dwayle's bag of holding is just a big pool.
Yeah, it was painful, but
I mean, I'm sure Coral will share some space. It just might not keep things quite as dry as you would have liked.
we'll find her something else soon.
Yeah, these things make me super uncomfortable, Sean. So
Yeah, I don't
thanks
like
for
them.
that.
I don't like them.
Although there's the 4 on top and the 2.5 below. The 4th all the way to the right, I feel like is some kind of pack mule that Dwayne will eventually create. Because it's got like the rolled thing underneath and the staff and the fishing pole ?
Yeah, that's a weird. It looks like a giant can opener.
No, but it actually has a fishing pole kind of hanging off of it.
It does. Yeah, that's true.
Because robots need to fish,
Who
clearly.
needs a bag of holding when you have the robot with wings to do it?
Hey, I did acquire my components for my Fine Familiar, so I will be adding another thing to the menagerie shortly.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think you may find some of these monstrous creations keep you from the upper class nobility that you seek.
Oh no! There's a difference between the function and the presentation.
Hmm. Alrighty. I am going to at least try to go to bed. We'll see how that goes, but I'm going to attempt it.